Up like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillar. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out and hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button, because you already know what time it is, and you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've even seen some people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this, and it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content out, share it through your social media, share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks, we are back for another, what I believe will be an amazing edition of the Roger Report Live. Okay, we going to get into it, y'all. It's going to be good. It's going to be different, I'm sure. And it's going to be many things to argue about. Potentially. But we'll kind of see how that goes. Okay, we'll kind of see how that goes. Today, we are dealing with the fact that women should follow men that aren't good leaders. Yep. Y'all hear me? Women should follow men that are not. Okay, not. Okay. Now, I understand. People would say, hey, well, they should follow somebody who is a good leader. Why wouldn't people say that? Why wouldn't people, what I'm saying? People say, I'm going to say a lot of women going to say stuff based on images. Okay. But we gonna really be into it. So we're going to look at the fact that women should follow men that are not good leaders. Now, before we get too far into this, I want to say shout out to all my people who give me views on a regular basis, that make up the fam. I appreciate y'all very much. Real talk. Shout out to each and every one of you. Shout out to the people who leave comments after the stream. It's great that you do that. You help the algorithm, and I appreciate it. I even can get good ideas sometimes. And it's sometimes it's just entertaining for me to see some stuff that people even say, whether they regular regulars here or not. Some of y'all make some very interesting comments sometime, okay? Shout out to the people who hype me up, y'all. I know you can't do it all the time, but it's something you should want to do on a regular basis. So I'm gonna say, hey, if you just save at least one hype for me, okay? Just give me one a week. Give me one a week. That's all I'm looking for. Give me one a week, and because hey, this channel needs to grow. Yeah, and y'all know this already because you listen to the content, so you know this channel especially needs to grow. So shout out to each and every one of y'all, and shout out to all y'all who go through the extra trouble to go above and beyond the call of duty to become financial contributors over here at the Roger Report Live. It is a great thing that you do. Okay, you allow me to do some things I would not be able to do without you, and I appreciate you big time and the blessing you are becoming to the world. It's an amazing thing. So shout out to each and every one of y'all. Okay. I'm seeing some of the comments already. It's gonna be a great show, though. It's gonna be a great show, y'all. And let me give a couple shout outs to some of the first people to check in this morning, y'all. And I do apologize for getting held up this morning. It was rough. So, to make y'all wait more than a half hour for the Roger Pull Out. But I'm gonna say shout out to each and every one of y'all who are coming through real quick. I know y'all are the ones that truly rock with a brother. That's super obvious. Y'all are the ones who truly rock with a brother because y'all right here, right now, spur of the moment. Y'all knew I was gonna be here. Took a look. Unfortunately, it was later than it should have took, but y'all knew I was gonna be here. So shout out to each and every one of y'all. But a special shout out goes to the one, the only. Y'all know how it is. There can only be one. The Highlander of today's stream. My main man in the building again. Bruce on Wayne has done it again. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Glad to see you here. Glad to see you here. We also got my main man, Trail Bentley, representing as he always does. Hashtag long live the habitual line steppers. Hashtag Negroes in the wilderness. Hashtag dignity over vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's babies. Hashtag Hydra. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. We got Chef Mike's Roundtable in the house. Great to see you, brother. Great to see you. We got I'm Listening in the building. Boot Camp is here. Great to see you. Great to see you. Tunnel Runner, what's happening? Glad to have you. Glad to have you. We got Inspired Truth Broadcast at the cool table this morning. We also got Joel Breezy in the house. Great to see you. We got Soul Provider Speaks in the building. Glad to have you. Watch Get a Man Cave. What's good, my brother? What's good? Great to see you. We got Horwitz, Feinberg, and Horwitz. And I am tickled. He said, how is Roger going to square this circle, y'all? Hey, I'm glad you're here. And you about to see it. You about to see it. Shout out to Afro Merchant. Great to have you, brother. Great to have you. And the Great Black Reset is also in the building. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Y'all, I'm about to get into this, y'all. Okay? Now, of course, people would say if a man is not a good leader, you shouldn't follow him. Okay? I doubt anybody would argue that particular. Well, I ain't gonna say no one would argue, but the average person wouldn't argue against that particular concept. Now, I'm gonna say when you look at black folks, it's gonna be a good amount of women who's gonna argue that particular concept, but they argue in a different way. They're not gonna say they shouldn't follow a good leader for the most part. I think some of them actually would come out and say that out of their mouth. They shouldn't follow a man who's a good leader. I do believe some of them would. Because sisters say a lot of crazy stuff at the end of the day. But when it comes down to it, they should follow a leader that ain't so good. All right? And I understand men would want another man to be a good leader. Especially if his daughter's going to be involved. That only makes sense, right? If your daughter going to be involved, you definitely want that man to have some decent leadership skills. Okay? Now, how do you handle this particular concept? Well, look, there's a lot of brothers who have meant very well. I'm pretty sure I did it somewhere in the past myself, even possibly, that will argue that a particular woman shouldn't follow this particular man because that particular man is not necessarily a good leader. I'm sure I've said it myself. You know, oh, my bad, my bad. You know what I did not do? Boom. Shout out to, I did not put it up, and I do apologize for that, but I got to take care of the sponsor of today's stream. Shout out to you, my brother. So Inspired Truth Broadcast is a sponsor of today's stream. I didn't put that up. So, my bad, my brother. My bad. Appreciate your Inspired Truth Broadcast. You're a real one, okay? You're a real one. So shout out to you. You are the sponsor of today's stream, and I appreciate the continued support, my brother. Appreciate the continued support. And y'all, tomorrow is Saturday, so you might as well be at his place tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. You know, he does some great stuff, and he does it at the same time on Saturdays, so you might as well be over there. Let's just keep that real. Let's just keep that real. So shout out to Inspired Truth Broadcast. Thank you very much, my brother, for everything you do. And I want to make sure you get your proper props, okay? Now, getting back into it, y'all. The thought of a woman following a good leader. Now, and amongst us black folks, we have a lot of folks who will argue about a woman not following some particular man. And the truth is, a lot of times it's just excuses. That's all it is. It's just excuses. Because black women, you know, for the most part, will seek out a man that they believe is in some type of compromised position, so they do not have to listen to him. Okay? Black women will seek out some guy that they believe is in a compromised position, specifically so they can not feel bad about ignoring what he says in the first place. All right? And the women complain about the fact that they get with these men that are going to be in compromised position. You know, every time a woman says something about a nigga got locked up. Now, what that mean? Oh, see, I was messing with him, but he was involved in illegal activities, and now that they happen to scoop him up, he's a bad father. What? You know, what? So you mean to tell me he was a good guy? He was a good guy while he was out. But he out there, you know, he in the game. He get locked up for a spell. And now all of a sudden he a bad guy. And see, the thing is, we'll look at women and say, hey, y'all need to follow a good man. But, you know, they will specifically go out after a guy who is eventually going to have a problem. I mean, if you're going to sell drugs, 9 times out of 10, you will get caught once here or there. The question is, how bad would you get caught? How much would you get caught with? How bad you going to end up getting locked away for real? Will you be able to just get locked up for a little bit, finagle your way through it? Will you have your lawyer money already to go? A lot of different things. But they ain't got no problem messing with no drug dealers. You know, let's keep that real. They ain't got no problem messing with no drug dealers. All right? And there's other people who do illegal activities, you know, and they ain't got no problem messing with them either. You know, drug dealers are a more highlighted thing amongst black women, but they ain't got no problem messing with no guy involved in getting his money in an illegal way. As if we're going to be real about it, they will encourage you to get money in an illegal way. Okay? And the thing is, you're just supposed to make sure they straight. If you get caught and you end up having to do some kind of time, whether it's a lot of time or hardly nothing, you just supposed to make sure they straight. And that's their attitude. That's why they will complain. If you get a 6-month sentence, you know, or you get 6 months of trying to fight a case, she gonna be upset with you because you was gone for 6 months. You know, and they will have sex with other men. Because why? You was gone for 6 months. And they're gonna justify it in their head because you was gone for 6 months. What was I supposed to do? You know, you was in there for 6 months. I needed this, I needed that. They're gonna justify it in their head. So, you know, for black men to buy into women making arguments about not following good leaders, it's not a, I'm gonna say it's not a smart thing for us. It just ain't a smart thing. They already looking for brothers who ain't good leaders, okay? They specifically do this. So why would I argue about them trying to find a brother who is a good leader? That's a silly argument for me to make. Now, you got men who are living their lives, regular, everyday, average brothers, and they'll say, hey, those men ain't good leaders. And what do they base that on? Just the fact that you a nigga. And I know that's hard for black men to see and accept sometimes, but that's what the reality is. They just see you as a nigga. You don't see yourself as a nigga. You see yourself as a man, but you don't see it. You know, that's why asking for simple requests is more difficult when you're dealing with a black woman. If you're a black man and you ask a woman for something, you know, and you got to explain something before she'll get it, she's telling you what it is. In her world, you a nigga. You're not a man. Now you could be an engineer, okay? You heck, you could be a CEO of your own company, making good money, being able to provide for yourself. But the thing is, you still a nigga to her, which is why it's so difficult when men ask women for stuff, and she don't trust you. That's something black men, for the most part, don't really think about when it comes to it. She don't trust you. If she trusted you, why would it take so much to get her to do something you ask her to do? She don't trust you. You know? Shout out to Trail Billy. Said it real as it can get. He said, you just a nigga with a degree. And that's how black women see us. You just a nigga with a degree. You could have literally put your own company together, you know, start making a profit in the first year. She ain't gonna respect that because you a nigga with it. Now, if you was a white man with a dream, that's extremely more valuable to her than a black man with actual tangible success. And that's just what that's what it goes down to at the end of the day. That's just what it is. And a lot of times as men, we'll talk about different things and we will question a man's leadership ability. Now I'm going to ask, real talk, y'all, what sense does it make for any black man to talk to a woman on any level and question another man's ability to lead? They're going to be with who they want to be with. That's what it goes down to. If they can get him, okay, if they can get the man, they're going to be with that man if they want to be with him. And then they're going to make excuses when things don't go the right way. And then we will even argue about nonsense stuff because they are not getting, quote unquote, good results. Look, did your daddy pick your man? You know, because I know that's not really going on. All right. Black women are not with men that would approve by their fathers. You know, I'm not saying there ain't some wonderful women out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about very, very small amount that truly is with a guy who she brought to her father immediately to get his approval or to see if he's not going to approve. I'm sure somewhere out there that woman exists here or there. Just like I know there's a guy with no legs. I ain't going to just run into a guy with no legs, but if I make an effort to find a guy with no legs, eventually I will find him. Okay? So I'm pretty sure that there's women out there, an extremely small amount, that if I look hard enough, somebody actually met a guy, and before she started some form of relationship with him, she literally brought him to her father to say, Dad, what do you think? I'm sure it's still out there. It's just going to be extremely hard to find. It's just not a real big percentage of those women. You know, if Dad wasn't available, I'm sure she, you know what I'm saying, she could have took him to an uncle, but, you know, that ain't what she was on. Then, you know, if you got brothers that could have did something, look for some level of approval. You know, black women don't do that type of stuff. Let's just keep it real. And black women have said time and time again, you know, well, you know, if I like a man, I don't have. Sometimes we just don't have nobody to get approval of. You ain't look for no approval in the first place, and there's always some man who will do that for. There's always a guy who will do that for, and then they'll make an excuse, say, "Well, if I try to bring a guy to another guy, that the guy that I bring him to will be trying to have sex with me." Like you don't have no granddaddy, okay? Even though they lying, how you not have at least one granddaddy? Okay, you might not talk to your daddy. You may not even know his side of the family. But what about your mama's father? What about your mama's father? So the thing is, why do we question black men's leadership? As black men, why do we question that? I understand women are doing some things with some people, and it's obvious to us that this ain't gonna work out, or this will probably go bad because of what that person probably does. You see a woman, she with a guy who's he does knucklehead stuff from time to time, and he keeps ending up going to jail. Maybe not even for something serious, but he just ends up going to jail. He gets into fights from time to time. Okay. Every 2, 3, 4 months, he got to get bailed out of jail because, hey, he just won't act right. And we'll sit there and be like, well, that's her problem. She shouldn't follow no man like that. Now, we mean well. And on the surface, it looks like great advice. On the surface, it looks like absolutely wonderful advice that we should be telling women, yeah, that's not the guy to be good with, But my thing is, she already liked the dude. So what? Why would I argue with the woman or try to get her to see things a different way? She's already picked him. Okay? She's already picked him. Yeah, when women come home and say, I want you to be my boyfriend, she's already picked him. What is me saying something gonna do at that time? She already picked him. And this is something guys got to pick up on. She's already picked. So since she's already picked him, why can't we just simply tell her to do right by the guys that she picked? This is the bed she created for herself. Why shouldn't we tell her to lie in it? So now, I understand this can be very difficult for someone who's in a father's perspective. But if your daughter picked a man, all right, and now your daughter comes to you from time to time trying to get you to check that man, Daddy, he did this to me. Daddy, he did that to me. Why would you involve yourself? You didn't pick the brother. She came to you. Dad, I want you to meet my boyfriend. That's not seeking of approval. That's telling you she already did what she did. So why would we say you shouldn't listen to that man in any regard? Same thing to a friend. Why would I tell some young lady she shouldn't be with this guy? You said to me, I want you to meet my boyfriend. He's already picked at that point. Okay? He's already picked. Okay? If you an uncle, I want you to meet my boyfriend. He's already picked. See, whatever our relationship is to a woman, whether we are father, uncle, grandfather, friend, brother, cousin, whatever. When a woman says, I want you to meet my man, she's told you he already picked. So why would I go through the trouble of trying to tell her he wasn't a good guy to pick? She already did it at that point. So why waste my time arguing if she should be with this guy or not? No, she needs to get those bad results. And at the end of the day, once he does something that seems a little shaky or whatever the case is, why don't I tell her to just do what he say? Now, I'm saying this because, see, it's easy in concept sometimes to do some things, but when reality comes to you, it's going to be a lot more difficult. But we got to understand, we got to do what's good for us as individuals, but you also got to do what's good for us as a collective. If you believe you are a black man who is respectable, productive, functional, and you actually believe in black men's leadership, if you believe you're one of us, at some point in time, when a woman brings a man to you that she already picked, and she's arguing about whatever it is that the direction that she don't want to go in, why ain't we telling her to just follow that man? Look, you picked the dude already. Okay, he wants you to do something that you're not good or comfortable with. You ain't trying to break up with this dude, so just do what he says. Okay? Just do what he says. Now, and this is the thing. Shout out to Soul Provider Speak. He said, well, I will give advice to my daughter, but doesn't mean I have to respect the man she chose. You know what? That's a real thing. But Soul Provider Speaks, I'm gonna ask you this, or not just to you, just in general. If she doesn't seek your approval in the man she wants to be with, what difference does it really make? And I'm not saying this, you talking about it's a daughter. Every man is going to want to be a good father to his daughter. That's a real thing. Okay, every man is going to want to be a good father to his daughter. And of course, we're going to give daughters especially tips here and there as they're growing up. And, we're going to do what we can to influence the way they should think about men. But once she picks a man that you did not approve of, even if you don't like that man, when he starts doing something that she don't like, why don't we back the man? That's what I'm saying, y'all. Why don't we back the man? Your boyfriend is doing something that, as a woman, the daughter don't like. So what should I tell my daughter? If I got a daughter and she's complaining about her man, all right, that I didn't approve of in the first place, why would I tell my daughter to do anything but follow that man? Now, this is the thing. You like them enough to create a relationship with them. 9 times out of 10, she's already having sex with the dude. Okay? If you've already engaged in a sexual relationship with a man, and then you start coming to me complaining about the man, why do we as men not automatically understand this is the girl's fault? Okay? Shout out to Urban Reed. He said 3 words, Roger. Figure it out. Hey, it's gonna have to be that way, man. Eventually, it's gonna have to be that way. Shout out to Elder Blood. He said, Roger, there's some deep wisdom in this. No, words matter, and when you weigh the words and the ancient use for description, it gives you deeper and profound revelations. Now, I'm saying that, and I appreciate you saying that. And I'm just saying this, y'all. Look, a woman can always complain about some dude. She can always tell me he's not good. She can always say, well, I don't think he's a good leader. It doesn't make a difference what's going on with them. She can say this at any particular point in time. Well, see, now I like him, but he's not a good leader. Okay. He's just not. All right. It just is what it is. And we would side with her sometime because, it's our daughter, it's our sister, it's our cousin, whatever the case is, Shout out to the Great Black Reset. I just want to see what he's saying, He said, hey, Roger, ain't nobody's daughter out here having sex. Oh. Oh, okay. I see why those laughing emojis are there. But see, y'all, the thing is, if she's already picked him, why would there be a situation where I should be against him? Okay. Now, I may not like the guy. I may not like what he does. I may not like what he represents. But why should I speak against that man? Because you signed up for this. And if you're not going to leave that man, if you're not going to end that relationship, why would I try to interfere with what you got going on? And why would I try to do anything to quote unquote correct him about the direction he's going in? She knew he was going in that direction and she liked him. So that means she want to go in whatever that direction is. Why should I fight about it? It ain't my relationship. And I understand y'all, this may be really tough on some fathers. I do understand that. Now, if y'all want to, speak up and say something against this, of course you're welcome to. But I'm just trying to be realistic, man. Why am I studying what direction he going in if she's already chose him? And if I don't have enough influence over you to get you to break up with your man, why should I care about whatever struggle they're going to go through as a couple? Why would I care about that? Why wouldn't my advice to her just be do what he say? If I got a woman, okay, and she's going to her friends and family, arguing about something going on in our household, what would I want you all to say to her? Well, just do what he say. That's what I want y'all to say to her. If you have respect for another man, okay, if you respect yourself as a man, why is it bad advice to just tell a complaining woman who is sexually engaged with some guy that's her man? She claimed this dude. Why don't you just do what he say then? Well, he want to move to Florida. I've been in Chicago all my life, and he want to move to Florida. I think he trying to, get me down there so I'm by myself. I'm isolated. I'm away from family. Are you having sex with the guy? Well, yeah, we having sex. Then go to Florida. What's the problem? I don't know, man. It seemed like he want to control me. Are you having sex with him? Yeah, we have sex. Well, then let him control you. Go to Florida. They got good weather. I don't know what to tell you. Go to Florida. If he want to go to Florida, go to Florida. You already having sex with the dude. What am I really going to say that's going to change anything for real for you? You already sexually engaged with this man. You might as well just do what he say. But I'm going to slow down right here, y'all. I'm going to slow down right here. We got a guest up. She Loves Me. Okay. Interesting name. Not saying a whole lot. Y'all do be having some crazy names sometimes, but I'm going to see where this one goes. She Loves Me. You got the flow.
Happy Friday, Roger.
Happy Friday, brother.
You can't be on time for saving the good Lord.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
You can't even be on time to save the good Lord.
Man, things happen sometimes, man. Things happen.
I know what happened. You be hanging around too many Haitians. That's what happened.
Yeah. We gonna focus on the good stuff. That's what we gonna do. We gonna focus on the good stuff. Yeah, that was an audience test and you passed.
I don't know why I was obsessed with leading teaching. As a good cookie, I don't inspire to lead anybody. I'm cool. I'm cool. Living free at her crib, glazing her buns every day, eating the baby snacks, sending super chat to Roger with her credit card. What do I need to lead her for? Lead her for what? Lead her to what? We good. I ain't trying to be like you so-called builders who are here putting football number, working at Amazon, getting home from work at 11, sitting in front of a computer, putting together projects. I ain't trying to be like you, man. Especially the married guys. The married guys be outside killing themselves, and I'm at their crib, jumping down her throat, using her throat as an elevator, as a means to elevate. Why should I lead her? Lead her for what? Come on, man. Enjoy yourself with them quiches, man. trying to, no. If I end up on child support, so what? I'm only gonna pay $70. What's the problem?
Well, the thing is, automatically you're going to be her leader if you're in a relationship with her. She's dealing with you, so you automatically her leader. Now, what you do with it, that's on you. Okay, but you're automatically her leader. And the sad part is, we as black men, we don't see it we don't see it that way. That's your leader. So at the end of the day, why don't you just do what he's talking about? Okay, why don't you just do what he says? Your life will probably be a lot smoother if you just do what your leader says to do. And if he's incapable of leading, but he got you, I think somewhere you wrong. See, a lot of women will try to get men fired up on this guy's incapable of leading. No, he got you. He must be a good leader. He got you, don't he? But let me slow down right here and get my second guest in. Turn around. What's good, my brother?
What's up, sir? What's up? How you doing?
Doing fantastic, brother. Doing fantastic. Hope you're doing the same.
I'm doing the same. Yes, thank you. I had a wonderful breakfast this morning. It was delicious. But but I wanted to say you are right. You like you say you Roger, and you're right. Some of these women they walking around here lost. They are lost. They need some kind of guidance, any kind of guidance, because they just following the trends, what's on social media, what the next girl tells them. They need a strong man or any man to tell them what to do because they just seem to be lost. Only thing they following is their job, and they're not very happy at the end of the day. So at least if they had a man in any kind of direction, and since they are messing with men, they might as well go ahead and do it, and they might find themselves in a better situation at the end of the day.
Right. Now, I'm gonna say, look, if the woman likes him enough to have sex with him, and she comes to me at any particular point in their relationship to go against that man, you know, maybe I'm gonna ask the question: what, you gonna leave him or something? And I'll probably say something towards like that. You know what I'm saying? So, because I think her response is gonna be important. And the way I ask her, I ain't trying to, tip off whatever. What, you about to leave him or something? Once you say, no, I ain't finna go nowhere, ain't nothing for me to really tell you but do what he say. You ain't finna leave the dude. You just established that with me. So why would I tell you to go against his advice? Why would I tell you to go against his word? Y'all, think about yourselves. If you're a man and your woman goes to another man to ask anything about you, what would you want the response that man to give your woman? What response would you want him to give your woman? You ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. Only thing I can really make sense of this is, why don't you just do what he say do? Since y'all ain't breaking up. Now, see, it's different if a woman come to me and say, yeah, man, I'm leaving him tonight. Okay. What, you want some advice on how to leave? My thing is, look, I got great advice for you once this is over with. But if y'all ain't going nowhere, why would I speak against him at all? I don't care what he's doing. Okay? Why would I care? But I'm going to slow down again because Bronk is here. Bronk, get in there and do your thing.
What up, Roger? What up, chat? What up, panel? Man, good conversation here, man. Um,
Hold on. I don't mean to do this to you, Bronk, but I got to read this. Shout out to Trill Bentley. He says, Rogers, if I'm speaking, he said, so you had his balls you had his balls in your mouth. Now you want to talk. It's something like that. It's something like that. but go ahead, man. Go ahead, my bad.
but man, as a proud father of five beautiful young girls, man. Um, my oldest two daughters, I've already had started having conversations with them about what the expectations are when it comes to their dating. Okay, They know that any man that they want to deal with in their dating life, that they have to come to me and talk about that. They also know that if they don't talk to me about a man that they are trying to seriously be involved with, then whatever results that they get on their end as a result of leaving me out of that process is on them. I've told them, do not blame me if you have a failed relationship when you did not come and consult with me about the man that you want to be in a relationship with. Your outcomes will be your outcomes if you don't involve me in that process. I tell my daughters, I can get you married, but you're going to have to keep your virginity, you're going to have to keep your chastity, or else it's going to be harder for me to do that. Now, if you want to go out here and do things your own way, once again, you're going to live with those results yourself and don't blame dad. But if you listen to me, I will make sure that you are married into a decent family with a decent man who is going to take care of you and the children he brings into this world with you. But once again, if you don't listen to dad, your results are your results. If you go out there, you lose your virginity, you have a hot girl summer and all of that, dad can't help you. That is on you. And any children that you have outside of wedlock, I am not claiming them. Now, a lot of fathers ain't going to be like that. But I'm not going to claim as part of my legacy, as part of my lineage, anything that was brought into the world in a way that I didn't approve of. And maybe more men need to take that kind of stance. I'm gonna land my opening statement with that.
That sound pretty good to me. I ain't gonna lie. That sound pretty good to me. And shout out to Inspired Truth Broadcast, y'all, because he did send $5 yesterday that I don't believe I said on air. So I just want to make sure I did say. I might have said it, but I'm just want to be sure. So shout out to Inspired Truth Broadcast for that. I appreciate it big time. And also shout out to my favorite hater, the Great Black Reset. He just hit me on the Cash App, says just because it's Friday. Hey, that's a good enough excuse for me. That's definitely a good enough excuse for me. So shout out to me. He dropped $20 on the Cash App. Thank you very much, my brother. Appreciate your real talk. Appreciate your real talk. Now I see Black Ooh just said something in the chat. Let me see what Black Oo's saying. Shout out to Black Ooh Strikes. He says, "Don't rag on a woman who can talk with balls in her mouth." He say, "Don't rag on a woman who can talk with balls in her mouth. That ain't no easy feat." Shout out to Black Ooh for that one. I guess when you think about it, you know, we should appreciate a woman who can talk with balls in her mouth. We should appreciate the women who can do that. Okay. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Yeah. Now, my thing is this, y'all, from a realistic standpoint, when it comes down to it, she gonna do what she want to do. We as men can raise women to do certain things, and that does not necessarily mean she's going to do it. Okay. Now, some of those girls will actually listen to our advice. They will take our advice. They will not really engage themselves with a man unless we give that approval. But at the end of the day, some of them are not. And you can try to raise her right as much as you can, but you do have to compete with a society out here. Okay. I think on my channels, this has been made clear many a time. You're going to be competing with the rest of society. We're not going to win every one of them, y'all. We're not going to win every one of them. You can raise some young ladies, but we ain't going to win them all. Not our side. You know, that we got to accept our side of the fence. We're not going to win each and every one of them. So now, as a woman, you come to me with some advice. Well, you come to me looking for advice or seeking some kind of approval. You're looking for me to interfere in your relationship in a way and quote unquote check her man. You want me to check your man for you. I gotta ask myself, why should I check any woman's man? Why should I automatically be on his side? And I get it. There'll be women who will say things that may frighten some brothers. She may say patriarchy, and now you scared all of a sudden. Okay. See, y'all got this patriarchy. I mean, come on now. Let's be realistic. All right. You having sex with the guy. Do what he say. Now, if you don't want to have sex with the guy no more, then leave him alone, and you ain't got to do what he say. But if you having sex with a man and you want me to go against the man you having sex with, my question is, why should I? Number one, why should I even care? Okay, regardless of what my relationship is to the woman. Because if your daughter's having sex with a man you didn't approve of, I understand that that'll be the strongest position a man can have. But if she's already having sex with the man you don't approve of, why would you interfere? That ain't gonna keep them together. I mean, that ain't gonna get them separated. A lot of times, y'all, if we be realistic, the only thing that's gonna really remove a woman from a guy that we don't consider a quote unquote good guy is her having to deal with him on a regular basis without help. You will come in and start interfering with what they got going on while you're actually extending their relationship. Because she got to rebel against you. She's already been rebelling against you. That's why she got that man in the first place. She knew you wasn't gonna like him. You know, that's part of her process. So now she wants you to go check the man that she brought around that she knew you wouldn't like. And you finna go actually do something to him. Now, if you hit him, now, daddy, you hit my man. You wrong for that. So now you got a whole other dynamic that don't make no sense going on. So why would you engage with that? How does that help you get what you want? Now, I understand somebody may say, well, my daughter needs a certain level of protection. She does. And guess what? The man she has should be the man protecting her. He should be the primary protection that she has.
And Roger, when a woman has a child with that man, she's stuck with him forever anyway, whether she knows it or not. So she might as well, if she's going to get with some guy, she's going to be having sex with some guy, she's probably going to have a child, and she might as well just go ahead and stay with that guy for the rest of her days.
I mean, I don't see no issue with it. You had his baby, you might as well stay. All right. And women will tug at our heartstrings, y'all. They're going to say he's abusive. This is what's really going on. And shout out to Horace Feinberg and Horace. He says, why is she trying to rope you into her problems? Because that's what girls do. Now, I 100% agree with this question. But we gonna have to keep it real, y'all. This is what women do. They like problems and they want some other guy to come fix the problem that they created. Shout out to Trust. She was just giving us some warning about that the other day. What she say, y'all? She liked to create a problem. Stuff could be easy, but she wanted to create a problem and ask a man to solve it. That's what a lot of women do. So at the end of the day, look, I never approved your man. So I'm with Brock 100%. You didn't bring that dude to me. You didn't seek my approval of that guy. So now that y'all having problems, why should I really be involved and say he should do anything differently than what he's thinking? Because his thinking got you, didn't it? How bad can he be? He got you. But are we willing to let a woman face that mirror? How bad can he be? He having sex with you, ain't he? See, as men, if you look at the overall Black community, you will see men who say some very dumb stuff. And let's just keep it real. A lot of men think you a leader because you got some hoe to follow you. At least that's how he sees it. Because a lot of Black men do not believe leadership has something to do with anything outside of a woman. They don't think their manhood has anything to do with something outside of a woman. Okay? So, that's a brother who's been properly programmed as far as the gynocracy is concerned. He can't even see himself as a man unless he's in servitude of some woman. So they do a pretty good job, which means they're already having sex with the dude. And if you're already having sex with this particular man, then why am I arguing against what he said? He the one dicking you down. I'm not doing it. Okay? So, I'm going to read this from Elder Blood real quick, then I'm going to get back into it. I'm going to get right back into it. Shout out to Elder Blood. Appreciate the Cash App. He dropped another $5. He says, Black women are the vampires that siphon the lifeblood of black men.
Man.
Well, you know what? I got to agree with that on a lot of different levels. And I think we're talking about one of the ways that they do it, because they come to you about some man that they already choose to sexually engage themselves with. Okay? Ain't that draining the lifeblood? You want me to talk about this guy that you already having sex with? Why? Why? You know, I don't know what I'm gonna tell you. The ship has already sailed. You already into this dude. Okay, you already into this dude. So now I'm supposed to put myself involved in your situation with your dude. And now when it don't work, he's not to blame. She's not to blame. I'm the blame because I'm the person that gave advice. No, we not playing that game. Man, if you like it, I love it. Okay? If you like it, I love it. Why don't you just do what he tell you to do? And y'all, I do think this is a huge thing amongst the black community from an overall perspective. We want people to do certain things, but we don't want to back the man because we don't, quote unquote, like that man.
Roger, you know what I tell my girls too? I tell them if they lose their virginity, be prepared to take care of themselves and truly be independent. What I mean when I say that is you need to be able to pay your own bills. You need to be able to change your own tire. You need to be able to move your own furniture. You need to be able to truly be independent if you're going to try to show up in a relationship with any man, not a virgin. And if you have kids, don't even think about putting a man on child support for those kids. You had those kids too. That is equally both of your responsibility. But the issue is that a lot of fathers are afraid to talk to their daughters like that. Even they're afraid to prepare them to be single and truly single if they don't do what they need to do to actually get married to a decent man.
I think you're making some very fair points, brother. I think you're making some very fair points, and I do believe men are gonna find it difficult to be, as real as they need to be sometimes with their own daughters. But does that help us from a collective standpoint? Because the world already got something for them to get. And I think that's something black men just got to be super aware of. The world already has a message for them. Are you going to give them a competing message, or are you just going to accept what the message the world has for them? Because you know where that goes.
Yep.
You know where that's going. So I can't argue with no woman about her man and his leadership ability. If you having sex with him, he's a great leader. Because he got you, right? And I'm saying that, and I'm not saying having a woman makes you a great leader, but in a woman's head, it's me throwing the mirror in front of her. How bad can he be? He got you. Now, my thing is, if she really believed he's not good, she would just break that relationship off. Women don't struggle to leave men.
Yeah.
Especially no black men.
Here's the thing. They struggle to leave men because they don't want to leave men and have any part of it be their fault. Right? When they leave, they want it to be completely the man's fault. They want him to be the abusive, narcissistic, unsympathetic guy. He's the worst guy in the world. She's got to leave being completely innocent for her to want to leave that relationship.
I mean, that's real talk. That's real talk. Because, she's going to do something to make it his fault. For her to tell her story. And a lot of times, women going to tell a story about a man who's just not a good leader. And at the end of the day, I just don't see how I should see a man as not a good leader when you never sought my approval out in the first place. I don't even get it. So I can't say that he ain't a good leader. He got you. Shout out to Elder Blood. He say, Roger and chat. I hope y'all are really review my above comments. And once you do, consider how in every vampire movie, the vampires drain the blood of the living and then claim they are innocent. Okay. Well, black women do move that way. But I'm going to say we do give them room to move that way sometimes because we will listen to their sob story about some guy who didn't do right by her, and we give it some level of credibility. My thing is why? Why ain't you just doing what he tells you to do? If you pick the man and he's your leader, why would you come to me so I can circumvent his leadership? Now I'm gonna say, as a man, if we actually think about what that is, let's think about this, y'all. A woman brings a man a problem to you that she's having with her man. She wants you to say something to circumvent his leadership. And if it's your daughter, especially, you will feel more compelled to do it. But if you have any respect for men, would you want somebody to do that to you? Think about that.
Question.
You want to circumvent some man's leadership because some woman brought it to you. Now, you may not be her father, you might be her uncle, you may be a brother, you may be a cousin, whatever it is. Maybe y'all just two people who went to school together. But she look at you in some kind of way to take your advice. As soon as you start telling her to not listen to her man, you are literally telling her it is okay to circumvent the leadership of a man. Well, you're also saying women can circumvent your leadership.
You're walking around here with your dry stick, and when you touch your stick, you can smell the juice of her viscosity on your stick, and she wants you to go and fight that guy that she's letting run through. Go fix Pookie for me. Make Pookie act right. Check Pookie for me, please. That's weird. Even I, as a Pookie, gonna look at you sideways like, why are you interfering between me and my girl? What's up? She likes it. Whatever I'm doing, she likes it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say shout out to Serious Raw. He said facts. Picking a bad leader is a good no-fault exit strategy, which black women use on a regular basis, y'all. Black women use that on a regular basis. I'm gonna get a guy, so he's so bad that if I do leave, ain't nobody gonna really trip. That's part of her process. Ain't nobody gonna really trip. He's a terrible guy. That's why she got with him. So why would I want to just accept she like terrible guys? See, we as men, we do have a little bit of a problem with that when it's personal. See, we can see it when it's somebody else, the guy in the next state, okay, the girl in the next state, cool. But if it's around us, now we don't want to see it. But the rules ain't changed though. The rules have not changed. So why should I act like the rules have changed? So guess what? I ain't got no advice to say you shouldn't be listening to him. If you having sex with him, you should listen to him. That's simple to me. You in a relationship with him, you should be listening to him. That's your leader at the end of the day. And guess what? You make him look bad and you make yourself look bad, because if you telling me that your leader is not good enough to be led by, what are you saying about yourself?
She's a horrible woman.
Well, it's not. I'm not going to even say she'll come to the conclusion that she's horrible, but you should at least get her to come to the conclusion that she ain't that bright. You're complaining about the man that's your leader. You're saying your leader isn't a bright man. How is he dumb and you smart?
Also, that's a life strategy. They pick me on 6 different guys to get the results of one guy. I, as a Pookie, I'm only glazing the buns. I'm not doing much. You know what I mean? I eat the baby snacks. I get yelled at sometimes. Sometimes I get kicked out of the house too because I speak sideways to her. And guys like Roger can pay the bills, pay the house, pay the mortgage.
Nah. That ain't gonna flow with me, brother. My thing is, if she with you, she should be listening to you. Ain't no Rogers. No Rogers should be involved in that situation.
Roger will give her grocery money. I ain't got it.
Roger will tell her where the grocery store is. Once she let a dude hit it, he's supposed to handle all that.
Nah,
And
Roger, come on.
no, I do believe that's a very huge point. You know, when it comes down to it, if he hitting it, man, I don't really care what's going on.
Yeah, but you know she gonna come at you with her sob story about how
Yeah,
much I ain't got it. She about to get laid off.
sound like she need another job.
Right? This guy's up under her like that. He ain't got it. You know, and you know, and she got a fat ass. You still wanna hit? You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
you know, if I hit, I hit. That don't mean I got to do something. She got a man.
Come on, Roger. Roger, come on. Yeah, you're paying two phone bills. You don't even know you're paying my phone bill too. Come on, Roger.
No, brother. She got
Sharing
a
is
man.
caring.
She got a man.
Caring, Roger.
Hey, we as men have pussy bills. He can pay his own pussy bill.
Kind of. Yeah, I mean, occasionally she might let you hit, but you know,
What they got to do with anything?
you're gonna get
What
some money.
if you got a man? Okay, that's on him. He a great leader.
Roger.
He's a great leader, and you should follow. And you should just deal with what comes with following your man.
I'm a pookie, Roger. I'm unemployed.
That
I ain't
don't
got
mean
I ain't got no job.
that don't mean you ain't her man. And she need to accept what you can give her. Okay, she
Roger.
needs to accept what you can give her, not me. She needs to
She's
accept
gonna
what you
give
can give
to me, Roger.
her, bro.
I eat baby snacks.
Once you said you had sex with her, she your problem. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way I see it, bro. If she having sex with you, she is your problem. If you can help her, you can help her. If you can't help her, she needs to deal with the fact that she ain't getting no help. That's it. You know, y'all together, man. That's y'all thing. That's y'all thing. I want to be involved. Okay. If she giving out something on the side, that does not mean I'm supposed to give her money so she can be more comfortable giving out something on the side. That's on her to figure out, not
They're
me.
gonna, they're gonna let Fisha, the nurse with a fat ass, go without. You're not gonna
She
drop a dime.
she ain't going without. She got a pookie. That's what you said. She ain't going without. She got
I'm not.
everything she needs.
I'm an unemployed cookie, Roger. I
If
ain't
she
got.
having sex with you, she got everything she needs.
Really.
Whatever you can provide. You know, shout out to you. That's all I'm gonna say. Whatever you can provide, that's the level she needs to deal with. You know, but I'm gonna slow it down because the main man BGS then came in the building.
It's head nigga in charge. It's head nigga in
Yeah,
charge today.
the HNIC then came in the building. So we gonna give it up to him. Go ahead, my
No,
brother.
Oh,
not
oh,
not
oh,
today.
oh.
Not today.
He fooled us,
Not
y'all. He
today.
fooled us. He,
I bought
he fooled us.
I borrowed an image today. I borrowed an image. Well, I appreciate it. I
But
appreciate
shout
the
out to
respect.
him. Shout out to him, though. Yo, shout out to him. uh, but
Now,
go ahead,
so
HNIC.
this what we're doing today. This is what we're doing today. We got a former Roger Report Live inmate up here giving out advice on relationships, and we got another nigga up here who damn sure don't know what the hell is going on out here. Just giving out bad advice. Just giving out bad advice. Um, no man, I'm with you fellas today. On man, we got to take charge. But here's the challenge that I put forth to us: are we as black men ready to be in charge? Are we truly ready to be in charge? I know it's necessary. I know that's what we need. But are we ready to be in charge? Are we ready to take the helm of our homes and our relationships? And are we ready to take care of all the issues and problems that come with it? Because it's not always peaches and rainbows when you're the leader. Whenever there's a problem, you got to fix it because the leadership, the helm of leadership falls on you. It don't matter how disobedient that woman may be. If she's disobedient, you got to get rid of her, but you still got to fix the problems.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we need to tackle too. Is when you're leading, all the issues are your fault. Are we
Well,
ready for that?
that's why I don't want to be a leader, man. I'm comfortable being a pookie, man. You
No,
know what I
no,
mean?
no, no, no.
Y'all here want to be leaders. Why?
No,
What for? What
no.
for? Come
My
on,
thing
man.
is,
So you're gonna waste all
Man,
this baby juice,
no, no.
all the
My
baby
thing
snacks in the
is,
refrigerator. You're not gonna eat them.
my thing is, Pookie is not a characteristic. It's just a guy who he ain't making no money. So if you
Right.
having sex with her, you her leader, and she get what she get. I'm not telling you not to eat up her snacks. I ain't telling you not to eat up the kids' snacks. But she having sex with you, you got it. And if she don't like what you can provide, as long as she having sex with you, that's on her. She need to provide more if she don't like what you got. It's that simple to me. So my
I
thing
don't.
is, are we ready? Who cares? Practice make perfect. You know,
Yeah.
all he needs is a
hey,
little more practice.
hey,
He a
hey,
bad leader. He needs to practice.
side note, I can't believe this Negro came in here stealing BGS avatar,
Yeah. I mean,
man.
Hey,
I
hey,
can't
man.
believe this Negro did that today, man.
Hey,
it's
hey.
a
The man just
compliment.
said.
Y'all got
The
no
man
chill,
just.
man.
The
Y'all got no
man just.
chill, bro.
The man just said, practice makes perfect. I'm practicing to be great. What you want me to do?
I mean, he could have
Now,
picked a lot worse. Let's keep it real.
if he show up today, I will
Hey,
humbly change the avatar. But
hey, he should show up just to get you to change that, man. Hey, man, take my stuff down, man.
Well,
This is my 2 minute opening statement. Take down my logo. And don't do it again. And don't do it again without my permission.
yeah. I would say they say imitation is flattery. So for him to use it, that's some level of flattery, and he could have picked a lot worse. Let's be real about that. So shout out to BGS. You know what I'm saying? He could have picked a lot worse. Okay. So, but I mean, real talk. I do think part of the issue is we have these considerations about what that other man can or cannot do, and when it comes to the performance of a woman. And my thing is, I don't think we should actually care. If she's having sex with him and he's a quote unquote bad leader, he's a good leader. To me, there is no bad leader. It's just simply the direction he happens to be going in. He may be going in a direction that I don't personally agree with, but that don't make him no bad leader. Why is he bad? Because he chose something that I wouldn't choose.
But let me ask you something. If all the big booty Keishas, the nurses, start dumping all the pookies like me, what the pookies like me gonna do? Because I'm not trying to leave this nonsense. What are we gonna do?
I mean,
What are we
just
gonna
get you
eat?
another one.
But if all of them decide to be with Roger, who's a good leader, what am I gonna eat?
I'm not suggesting that any brothers out here are poor leaders. I'm in agreement with you. If you chose him as a leader, he's good enough. What I'm saying is, bro, we got too many brothers that are we are compromising our leadership with these women. And every time you compromise with a woman, you give away a little bit of respect she has for you that you ain't gonna never get back. And I don't think brothers really understand that, man. You gotta put your foot down, especially when she don't like it.
Let
You
me
gotta
let me
put
let
your
me
foot down.
but let
Our
me ask you
brothers ready
You
for
something.
finally
that.
said something
Let
right.
me
You finally
let
said
me
something right, Reset.
let me ask you something. What
Yes,
is
sir.
what is the respect of a horse true worth?
What is say that again one more time?
What is the worth of a whore's respect?
The
I
worth of
mean,
a whore's
none,
respect.
none.
Yeah.
There is no worth.
So what she don't respect you? I don't care. That's a hoe.
No. That ain't true. Now you going as a man, you gonna want respect from everybody you walk into. Just like if I walk into Roger, I want respect from him. You know what I'm
No.
saying? I want to have
Roger.
earned it. I want to
Roger.
have earned
Roger.
it. If I walk into
Roger.
Pookie, I want to have respect from Pookie.
But
If I
Roger
don't
is a
have
man.
respect, it's gonna be an issue. So
Wow.
if it's a woman that I chose, even if she's a whore, I want respect.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Roger is a man. Roger is a man. That's okay. But a hoe, what's the point of a respect?
well,
I ain't
I'm gonna
got time
say,
for that.
well, let's not interchange hoe and whore. Okay, Whores are professionals that go out and have sex for money. Hoes are very different than whores. So, a whore ain't trying to fool nobody. So let's not disrespect the whore by calling them a hoe. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
Emperor don't know how we grew up over here. We love all our hoes over here, man. We love all our hoes. I don't know what you got going on.
I love my host too. All my hosts take care of me. Yeah, all my hosts put me on, man. My hosts give me their credit card so that I can supercharge Roger.
well,
Don't
well,
let
my,
don't talk bad about my host.
my thing is, what's the problem with that? See,
The-
I'm here to say I don't see that as a problem. When it comes down to it, a woman who's following a man that may be going in the direction I don't agree with is still not a problem. Is she need to listen to what he says. That's my thing. So when women complain that some of you niggas are lazy, y'all won't go get no job, y'all playing the PlayStation all day. My thing is I don't understand that as a problem. I
That's the nigga
think
you chose.
I think that's where we mess up. We hear a woman complain about a man that she's having sex with, and she gives some type of context about this guy, and we look at her and say she's a victim of some sort. Every relationship, at least from an American context, is a socially voluntary situation. She is an adult. How dare you challenge her about the man she got? How dare you? Okay, she grown. She can be who she want to be. Just because she with a person that you don't think is right, who are you to say something to her? She grown. Let her do her thing.
I
And
feel
my thing
offended.
is, if she pick a guy who don't work, my thing is good for her. Now she got the experience of what it's like to be with a guy that don't work. But what I'm not going to do is listen to her tell me something about the fact that he's not working as if it's a problem and she's having sex with him. No, how dare her? Okay, how dare she? How dare you complain about a man giving you good dick? How dare you?
Yeah,
You
I
gonna
mean,
come to another man to complain about the man who dicking you down? How dare you? But
yeah,
see, as a group, we don't think in those terms. Because I'm being for real. Why would you
I
come
think
to me about this man who's lazy, but he dicking you down? That don't make sense.
it's more about us having respect for men. Period. Just a black man should have respect for the next black man, no matter what his situation is.
okay, okay,
And if
okay.
she, if
Let me ask you this: is this not my job?
Hold on, before you ask it,
I'm performing emotional
hold
labor.
on,
Is
before
this
you
not a
ask it.
job?
Now, hold
Uh-huh.
on, I don't want you to ask it yet. Shout out to Black Crew Strikes. He says, unless I have some use for her, I do not care what quality of leadership some other man is providing to a woman. Shout out to you, Black Crew. That makes all the sense in the world to me. That makes all the sense in the world to me. And he also said, do you want respect or pleasant treatment? You know, I guess that was kind of towards you, Black Reset, because you
oh,
said you want respect for it. But so I'm gonna
oh,
let you tackle that one. Do you want respect or pleasant treatment?
What's that?
oh, oh, I won't respect. I won't respect ultimately, but that's a good one. That's a good one.
And make you
That's a
pause
good
right
one,
there.
Black Guru. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to you on that one. I got to think about that
Yeah,
one. Woo!
yeah, that's the question to make you pause. You see, I threw it off on Great Black Reset. I threw it where you needed.
That's a good one. But I think my initial response is respect. I think respect is paramount because if I get the respect that I'm looking for, I think I can handle and deal with everything else, and I can kind of guide her and groom her in the way that I want. But if you're not getting respect, man, it ain't gonna be pleasant if you ain't got no respect.
Okay, and let me deal with what I think is kind of and I ain't talking about you, so don't take it the wrong way because I don't know who you are. I think this is kind of a crybaby situation right here. As said, he says, let's be honest, black women don't respect black men because y'all don't have no power or resources. Now, to me, this is kind of like a crybaby argument. I'm saying, as said, is coming off as a crybaby to me. Because what he hear is a black woman don't respect black men, and somehow that's supposed to be a problem for us. Bro, you sound like a crybaby. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm not saying this to insult you. I just want you to know I look at this as a crybaby issue. You are so concerned with how she views you because you're trying to put that on us. Like, bro, why you care? Why you care, bro?
I'll be
If
right
she
back.
views you a certain way and you don't think it's the way you should be viewed, why you care? Some random woman can look at you and you don't think she look at you the right way and you care? Come on now, that's not being a crybaby. At the end of the day, is that not? And I'm not saying this to insult you. I'm just trying to give you a new way to think about things. Why are you not a crybaby if you care about what some random person? She's looking at you as a black woman and she doesn't respect you, and you feel that way. That's why you're saying it out there. You want me to accept what you feel, but I'm not going to accept what you feel. I'm going to look at what you're actually saying from a context of any particular person. Some random black woman don't respect me. Why would I care? I'm supposed to pout about it? Should I cry? Why would I care? What's the point in caring? Okay? It ain't that big a deal, bro. It's just a sister. It ain't that big a deal. All right? But now, if you was looking at this from a more of a man's perspective, you could understand what I'm saying. Because when it comes down to it, I'm asking you as a man to respect men. And you are trying to insert something where the woman should be in control.
I want to chime in on that statement right there, right? So
Go
this
ahead.
is something Mr. Me Too been saying for a while. You know, black men are too concerned about money. So I see two things in this statement. One, it's the old nigga adage of nigga, you need to get your money up, which is that's following the instructions of black women. And two, when he's talking about power, it's listening to black women saying you're not in the position of the white man. Those are the two things that I see in that comment. If I'm to take it seriously, and both of those things come from the mouths of black women. So from their mouths to his ears to your show. There you go.
Sometimes people make comments, even though they're trying to insult other people, they're just kind of telling us their story. And some people's story is that woman should always be in charge.
Yep.
And that's really what they kind of said to me. She should always be in charge. So rather than think about respecting other black men, we need to think about how that woman should be in charge. Because the show today is, I made it very clear. Why are you even addressing a woman about what she got going on with her man? This woman didn't ask for your approval about some man, so why you care? Now, if you're a father and your daughter come to you about a particular man, hey, daddy, I'm interested in this guy. Should I get with him? Then I totally understand giving some advice from time to time because she came to you for approval about this guy. Y'all are building some type of relationship together with this guy. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are proving this guy to really be around. If she don't do that with me, why I care what he's doing with her? And see, this is something you need to really think about, SS said. Why do you care so much about what some woman doing with a man that ain't you? She didn't come to you for approval. Why you care what's going on? My advice is do what he say. You still with him, ain't you? Now I
Yeah.
understand if she want to leave him. And my thing is, if she tell me she wants to leave, I'm gonna say, well, tell me when you actually leave. I'm not doing anything, and I ain't got no real advice for you. And you just saying you gonna leave. Let me know what's going on when you do leave, and I'll tell you what I think at that point. Because I know how to respect the man. And as I said, I ain't trying to beat up on you, but I don't think you would take it that way. I I, I know how to respect another man. I don't care about her results with that man. I think she just do what he say. He giving her the dick. She need to deal with whatever come with that dick. Now we got a brother here, and I like the way he played with it sometimes. You know, he say I'm a pookie, right? I ain't got nothing for him. Well, who am I to disrespect Pookie? Pookie ain't telling you he had nothing. Pookie told you I ain't trying to work. I ain't trying to do squat. I'm trying to chill at your crib. I'm trying to eat off your money. I'm trying to drive around in your car. If you got some kids, I'm trying to eat their snacks. Now Pookie done told her that. Why is that a problem for me? It ain't. So when she come to me to complain about Pookie, well, he don't like to work. And you can get a job. Why he got to be the one that's working? Ain't America about equality? You get the job.
Exactly. I mean, she got the job and I'm providing the money for. When she comes home, I massage her back. I listen to her sob stories at work about the stove, broke the toaster, about the paper.
Yeah.
I'm providing the
Bro, we can't hear you. It's bad. I'm trying to. You sound terrible right now.
That's the Holy Ghost, man. That's the Holy Ghost.
Yeah. Why don't you reset your phone or something and come on back? Cause yeah, we couldn't hear none of that, bro. Real bad. We couldn't hear none of that. I'm talking about real bad. I'm trying to hear real bad. Couldn't hear none of that.
all
And
right.
we got you not the dad. Okay, here come the mess, y'all. You not the dad. Oh, you in Jamaica. All right. You got the former. Y'all, there's some inside jokes going on here now. But you, you not the dad. You in Jamaica. Go right ahead, my brother. Go right ahead.
Shout out to you, Roger. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat. And shout out to a special someone. I always keep my promises. So I always keep my promises. 'Cause that's leadership, right? A nigga that can't keep his word, how you can expect his leadership, right? So you gotta keep what you say, right? And that's what you know. So that's one of the things that I will give women credit for, right? Like when niggas don't be keeping their word on stuff, right? You got to keep your word on things. So should women follow men that are not or that aren't good leaders? Nobody should follow a person that isn't a good leader. But then again, it's up to you who you choose to follow. Just like it's up to you who you choose to believe. Some people say 70%, some people say 30%. But do you really know? Who knows, right? But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, right? It's all about looking at people's action, looking are they consistent, looking at do they have your best interest in mind, right? But in order for you to know that, you gotta know what good leadership is, and unfortunately, not enough people know what good leadership is. So shout out to Jamaica. That's all I got to say.
But I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say I think you describe the perspective that maybe more men should think about. But as a woman, if he can give you that dick, just do what he say. If he don't keep his word, but he give you that dick, you good. You know, if he's spelling at different things, but he giving you some dick, he cool. You know, now that what you talked about with leadership, I think that's something men should be thinking about as far as how they're going to deal with certain leadership situations with other men. But no, when it comes to a woman, as long as he giving her that dick, she needs to do what he's talking about.
But see, Roger, leadership in the black community means respecting other black men. We ready to do that wholesale?
All I can say is I'm ready, and I'm trying to bring some people with me. No, I don't think we're ready because it's not really talked about, and it's not really executed that way. And that's why I'm bringing up the point of how women go to other men about a relationship that they established with some man that ain't got nothing to do with them. Anytime your quote unquote friend asks you for some advice about a particular man, now I ain't saying she can ask you about men in general, but if she's asking you about a particular man and you
Right,
chiming in there and you going against that particular man that she happens to be having sex with, you wrong.
right. Okay.
You know,
I'm
why you
challenging. I'm challenging us today. I'm gonna let you get your other guests in, but I'm gonna challenge us today. Are we really ready for the leadership that we say we want? Are we really ready for it?
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
I say even if we ain't ready, we need some more practice. Might well start. You know, best way. You know, experience is a good teacher. I ain't saying it's the only teacher, but it is a good teacher. But we gonna get a flow to D. Okay, this is what we doing. DEI got in Harvard is in the building.
There's more to it, Roger. Read the rest of the name. Read the rest of the name, Roger. Read the rest of the name.
The full name is DI got into Harvard because I couldn't make it academically.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah. I'm here because you know how it is, man. I got into Harvard because they had to put one nigga in there, and it just happened to be me. Even if I had grades or not, so they just tossed me in there. So here I am, blabbing around, tell you how much I went to Harvard and how much I basically deserve privilege. But basically, I don't show any any results indicating that I actually apply any academics or anything because I come up here and I give people bad stats, I give people bad analogy and bad everything, which disrespect Harvard and disrespect the entire university and everything. But otherwise from that, I'm saying I'm over here blabbing my mouth, Roger. That's about it. Here's my 2 minutes.
Y'all,
Shout out to Harvard. Shout out to Harvard.
yeah, shout out to both of y'all. Okay, y'all both giving good laughs today, so shout out to both of y'all. Yeah, no, I think GBI though is he's making a point that I believe is a decent point to make, and I'm just gonna say y'all, sometimes you just gotta flow with it. You gotta flow with it. At the end of the day, if she's dicking him down, to me, he's automatically a great leader. Because I'm not going to even think about questioning him. I don't think he's wrong. I don't think he's wrong about what movie he picked. I don't think he's wrong about what restaurant y'all supposed to go to. I don't think he's wrong about the appliances that y'all buy together. I don't think he's wrong about nothing too much. And if he is wrong, I think if you're a decent woman, you forgive him for being wrong. Because if you act like he got to be perfect, something wrong with you. That's what I'm gonna say.
But I wanna push back a little bit because when he said, "Are we really ready for this?" I mean, I think most people are ready for it. I mean, you just need to lead your family. It's not like you need to lead a corporation, right? The average family man, what goes to work, pay his bills, pay his taxes, raise his kids, and be with his woman. This is not complicated leadership. I think because we try to make things so big and robust that we're making mountains out of molehills, and I think unless you're a science nigga with horrible communication, right, then you're an excellent leader, right? But other than that, but like those bios and chemists, that can't really communicate effectively. Yeah, your leadership skills gonna suck, right? And any information wrong because I went to Wharton first, not Harvard, but hey,
Oh yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's my next
I'll land
name.
my plane there.
That's my next name. DEI basically got me where I am. Listen, that's my next name. Don't worry. I'll be back on Monday.
All right, well, I'm gonna say, I do think I think it's a possibility that as men we could be ready for it. Okay, there's a possibility. Now, women, I don't think they truly want that because it's gonna mess up some of the stuff that they got going on. But the thing is, can we as men truly? Because I think accepting this situation is just getting out the other man's way. I don't see that as a difficult thing to do. I'm real easy to get out that other man's way. Okay. As I grew up, learned different things here and there, I don't attack no man about his woman. Okay. I told y'all that the most I did, there was a guy who was upset with some chick. And because I was there and I knew the police was in that area looking for somebody, and he was getting into it with his chick, I went to that man. I said, "Hey, bro, chill. The police over here looking for somebody. Don't you get into it with her, and then you get caught up because the police happen to be around here. They're gonna see you get upset if you hit her or something like that, bro. Now you got a problem." Now I did not tell that man he shouldn't be mad at his woman, whatever the problem was. I didn't say she was right or anything like that. I just say, "Hey, bro, Don't you do anything that's gonna get you locked up. They around here looking for somebody right now. Don't you get caught up because you done hauled off and slapped her or something. Now, technically, I didn't even say he shouldn't slap. I just said don't do nothing where the police gonna see.
So publicly you told him he should not be doing that public.
I mean, if we want to get technical about it, yeah, I told him don't slap her publicly because they out here looking for somebody right now. So I knew they was in the area kind of deep. You know what I'm saying? Because they trying to find somebody.
Right.
You know. So don't just slap out here while you in the street, bro. Go home or something. You know, get in the house or something. You know. Now, should I look back and regret that? No. I still think it was great advice. If you're getting into it with your lady, don't slap her in public. It could cost you more than necessary. You know, but now this is the thing. Now you got to say, well, Roger, are you saying the man should be able to hit a woman? What I'm telling you is I don't care. If y'all together and that's y'all love language, salute to you. I understand some women want to be hit. I found that women been saying for decades, if you don't slug her, you don't love her. So that means they want to be hit. That's their way of knowing that their man is into them. You know? And if that's what she needs, and she's an adult, who am I to tell her she can't have it? She ain't my daughter. Now, I think it's kind of crazy that you need a man that go upside your head for you to feel like he love you, but she's not my daughter.
That's what happened when you get things that you're not qualified for, Roger. Like going to schools that you're not supposed to be going to. You know, and getting credentials that you're not qualified for because people want to just give it to you. You know, essentially because they feel sorry for you. You know, and saying, oh, poor you. You know, yeah, here's some credentials. So you have to end up going upside your head of your woman because you wasn't qualified for that woman. Your leadership skills is poor. You know, because you didn't go through the right path. So you know how I'm here. I'll show you the way. People that actually have proper credentials, people that actually do things the right way, you can rely on me. I got the results to show it. I got the wife, I got the kids, I got the house, I got the credentials, the job, the money. You know what I'm saying? But certain people up here talk about, oh, they went here and here, and all they have to show for is a whole bunch of blabbering. But that's leadership for you, Roger.
Oh, this time the Black Hole Strike. He said, "Oh wow, y'all dropping nukes today." But I'm just trying to say.
You know, the funny thing is, Roger.
I knew it was coming.
You know, like some people say they got, I got the money, the house, the kids, whatever. But you know, in America, it's the funny thing about America. Things aren't always what they seem, right? I don't see any DNA test anywhere, right? I don't see a deed to a house, right? Right? It's all Instagram show, right? But you know, niggas be crying in the back, be like, "Oh, that kid really ain't mine," you know.
Yeah, but that's what the people are. A lot of people actually have kids, Roger. So since certain people don't have any children, they don't know what's going on. So we can ignore them.
Y'all
we can just ignore them.
Into that. Y'all gonna drag me into that. Y'all gonna get on your
own. I don't see paternity tests.
Yeah. Now I will say, y'all. I mean, the thing that I truly, honestly believe would help with Black folks in America, if we just really learn to stay out of other people's business to a certain degree, and to accept, why should you be bothered with it anyway? Because there's a lot of women who go to men about another man, and if it's not your daughter, if you're a quote unquote friend, and if you're the good guy, because a lot of guys will do this, they stay in that friend zone, whatever. If you the good guy, and you done represented yourself as a good guy, and she don't like you, that means she don't like me and like you either. But we care about the women so much when she starts complaining and expect don't let her come over to your place crying or something. We really care about what they say. And I just be wondering, why do we care so much about what they say? Well, he beat me. He abuses me mentally. He abuses me financially. He your man. It's not abuse. Why
Well,
don't
Roger,
I interpret whatever he does to her is out of love? Why can't
well,
I
Roger,
interpret that?
But when you find out the kid ain't yours, all you can do is beat her. I mean, it's a messed up situation. All you can do is beat her.
Well, I'm gonna say if the kid ain't yours, it's definitely time to remove yourself. Okay, definitely time to
Yeah,
remove
but
yourself.
Roger, there's no need to hit anybody when you know the children is yours. But like I said, you gotta get people that actually have children to basically make commentary because certain people 50 years old and basically claim that they're a millionaire and they can't find nobody to have their fucking kids. So I don't know what to tell
All right, I'm gonna say shout out to Inspired True Broadcast. Hey brother, I see you. You said that the thing that went away in the chat. I'm about to drop one in there right now, brother. I'm dropping it in there right now for you, brother.
And
All
see,
right.
and that's the beautiful thing about niggas who go to Ivy League schools, because we like to weigh options. Either I take care of kids who aren't mine, or be single and no,
You didn't
I
go to
ain't.
Ivy League school. They let you in because you're a pathetic person and
I'm
basically they had to fit a category. And you're in that category of pathetic
whoa,
people.
I didn't
That's what you
interrupt
are.
you, brother.
You didn't go there.
I
They
didn't
let you
interrupt
in
you,
because they
brother.
felt sorry
Yeah.
for you.
I
So,
didn't interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. Please. But like we're all gentlemen here. Just take the ass whipping like a man. We're all gentlemen.
Joe. Outside of the side note situation going on, I do want to say though, real talk, y'all. As men, should we accept that some women need to be beat?
Mm-hmm.
Because there will be women who will say things like, you know, that's the problem. It's a patriarchy. Y'all want to beat somebody because y'all trying to have power and things like that. Now, I'm just saying realistically, I done heard from way too many women at this point, and I understand some of these women, they're gonna seek out a man that's gonna hit them. Should I be mad at the man that hit them when I also understand they're gonna seek this out? And if you won't hit her, she's going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Roger,
You know?
Roger. All we got to do is accept black male leadership. Whatever goes on in the household is under his guidance, tutelage, and leadership. That's it. Whether it be peace or whether it be war. That's all
No,
we
I don't.
got to accept.
No, I don't believe in hitting women though. I can't roll with that.
Yeah, well, that's great. And I
Yeah.
believe in your leadership. That's great. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
I, I'm gonna say
You got
I'm cool with the fact that you don't believe in hitting your woman.
I
But
don't
if
believe in
another but if another man has a woman and for their relationship to work out, he got to go upside her head every Tuesday. Why would I have a problem with him?
Well, I
if
mean, I
you
just
got if you got Captain Caveman over here, you don't think she knew he was Captain Caveman?
but no. I'm not. No, no. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's keep going back, but I'm just saying I don't believe. I think it's wrong, right? Now whether she stayed there or not, that's a whole different thing. But in general, like if you're a man that's hitting a woman, you got issues.
No,
but you
I'm
see,
gonna say
Roger, lack of results is represented by philosophy. So certain people have certain broken philosophy. If you see why they don't have any results, because they don't want to enforce nothing. They think the world is some kind of illusion that basically gonna work out by being nice. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so
Yeah,
real
I'm
manhood
being
requires
nice.
once again, real manhood requires you to make certain decisions that ensure that you get results. That's why you know who are men and who are basically boys.
Well,
So yeah, go ahead, Ross.
I'm nice to my woman because unlike your woman, my woman never lied to me about my kids.
Yeah,
before
she got to
y'all
have
go
the
too
kids
far.
first, brother. I'm saying you got to have the kids first. When you have the children, we'll talk. Okay?
I mean, but do you really have children? That's the question. Because I mean, if I don't have children, I'm not paying. You may or may not have children, and you paying.
okay.
I have the children here; they're right in front of me, and I'm paying for them because those are my children. Get some children, then you can basically spend your
Well,
money wisely. Stop spending your money on
I
hookers and
can't give
whores in
you an
China and shit
example.
like that, bro. I'm
I
Okay.
saying
can't give
30
you an
years of
So,
whoring
example.
in China,
so
20
we
years of
don't
whoring
get
in
too
China,
far off
bro.
track.
Are you not tired of that now? You
So
should be
we
tired of
don't
that
get
now.
so we
All right,
don't get
getting
too
back
far
to
off
the
track,
topic.
y'all. Yeah. So we don't get too far off track. I'm gonna say this. I understand. that there are women who want to be beat on. These women are literally adults. If you live in this country and you're 18 and over, you are an adult. I'm not saying a man should hit a woman. What I am saying is, because I respect women's ability to be adults, if they want a man that's going to hit them, who am I to tell them they can't have that? They want somebody who's going to hit them because that's how she sees love. Why would I have a problem with her doing that? She's not my daughter. I don't even care. Okay. And if she is my daughter, if she doesn't live in my house anymore, and that's how she believes she needs to live in the world so it can make sense to her, then I got to give her that room. I'm respecting her too. I'm respecting the man that's doing it, but I'm also respecting her. She's not going to be happy until somebody go upside her head. Why should I say she can't be happy? She a grown woman, ain't she? Now, that's not me saying I got to agree with beating on women, but I got to accept what she wants. Because if I want a woman who won't hit me, I think you should respect that. But if she needs a man that will hit her, why shouldn't I respect her? See, we not gonna be good matches. Because I don't want to go upside her head, but she want me to. So we just not a good match. So therefore we should date somebody else. But if two people find each other and he like going upside her head and she like getting the brakes beat off her, that's a perfect match. What's so wrong with adults giving other adults room to be adults? That's all I'm saying. But I'm gonna turn it over to Inspired True Broadcast because he didn't came up. So the sponsor of today's stream is in the building. Appreciate you, brother, big time. Appreciate you, big time. You got the mic.
All right, all right. So first, as per usual, shout out to the panel and shout out to the chat. I hope that everybody's having a fantastic Friday out here.
Inspired True talking. Anybody here Inspired True?
No, I don't hear shit.
Reset my timer. Reset my timer, please.
Timer reset. Timer reset.
So here's my position on this here. Like, we get a whole lot of stuff about you need to do this to be respected. You need to do that to be respected. You need to do the other to be respected. Like, women are gonna say whatever they want to say to have an excuse to disrespect you because they want to do whatever they want to do. A lot of you guys are going to be actually, if you had the opportunity to see it and see what like your daughters are actually into, you would be disgusted. You would be sickened. You would actually throw up in your mouth. You would have to you'd have to try to choke that down. Like the stuff that Roger's saying, that's not hyperbole. That actually does happen. There are a lot of them that are really into all of that. And fact of the matter is this: you're gonna have to just deal with somebody that is cool with you being you and not worry too much about all of this stuff about what they're saying these prerequisites are for you to get respect. They either respect you or they don't. They value you or they don't. It's all there is to it. It doesn't matter how many damn mountains you climb. It doesn't matter how many dragons you slay. They either with it or they ain't with it. And that's where I'm gonna be in for now.
Amen.
And
Amen.
I'm gonna say, look, again, when a woman comes to you about a specific man, I'm not saying a brother can't give women advice, but when she comes to you about a specific man and she's telling you a story to try to get you on her side so you can say something to him so he can come down on whatever his position is, she's intentionally trying to use you to circumvent another man's leadership. Are you okay with another man trying to circumvent your leadership with your woman's involved?
Nope.
Because if you're not okay with that, I gotta be on some well nah man, just do what that man asking you to do. It ain't even that difficult.
But that's dirty macking right there. That is dirty macking. That is for real.
Definitely dirty macking, and they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, he's not a good leader," and that stuff will look like, "Yeah, we're not having cake for dinner." They'll be on some kid shit, like, "Yeah, we
Yeah.
really are not having cake for dinner. He's a horrible leader. He won't let me have cake for dinner."
Well,
Yeah.
my thing is, as men, do we accept dirty macking, or do we still think it's supposed to be bad? Because see, back when I came up, the people I was around, I basically was told that if you got to be a dirty Mac, that means you see yourself as less than nothing. I gotta talk down on him so she'll see me as somebody. If that's what I need to do, I'm the problem. So if she come to me about what another man is doing, because this is what it is, y'all. She's coming to me about what another man doing with his woman. She might be my friend. She might be my relative. But she coming to me about what another man doing with his woman. Why would I take a position that that man is wrong about what he doing with his woman?
Well, Raj, I got to break your heart a little bit, man. Um, when women go to other men about their man or another woman's man, it's because they know you're an enemy of black male leadership.
Mm.
You done been recruited and you don't even know it. See, because you don't answer the call before. They know who the enemies of black male leadership are. They know who to call. And see, we don't examine ourselves to understand that.
Nah.
Some of us are active members of the coalition of the enemies of black male leadership, and we get called to the front line ever so often. That's because they know who you are.
Amen.
I'm gonna add a little bit more to it. Like one more thing, one more perspective is that they'll go and they'll basically attach themselves or try to go after young men that don't know any better yet. Like there's this particular case, I'm not gonna go into it, but where a young brother was like a teenager trying to like speak up for another teenage girl that was basically getting paid and busting it down, but he ends up deleted and all of that for what?
And you know what though, and shout out to HNIC, man, because you spitting truth right now, and it ain't only the young niggas. There's some niggas on this panel right now, Dirty Mac.
Now I'm gonna throw this in. I think what HNIC just said. As a man, you really need to examine that. But let's not be foolish enough to think a woman won't ask anybody. They're always recruiting. They're always
Yeah,
so I'm not gonna say
Yep.
she's specifically asking somebody because he's been that, but that could very well be true. He's been that in the past, so they'll keep coming to him because he gonna step in. But because if you build a reputation like myself, where all he gonna do is say do what the man said. You see what I'm saying? A lot of us we don't think that's a good reputation to have. You know,
I'm,
if you really know me, she goes, well, all he gonna do is say do what the guy said. That's what he gonna tell you. I'm good with
I'm,
that.
I'm, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you how brothers recruit brothers to the coalition.
Enlighten
And
us. Enlighten
you
us.
get a sister. You get a sister. Call her brother. And the first thing her brother do is call two or three of his homies. Hey, we finna go over here and handle this business. See, you don't got recruiting and you don't even know what's for. You just jumping in the car and ride. And just cause your homie, cause then we talk about, hey, are you gonna watch your homie get beat down? I don't know. Why is he getting beat down? See, we need to be examining this stuff. We
Hey,
are
hey,
getting
reset.
recruited
I'm
and
gonna
don't
put
even
I'm gonna
know
put
it.
something else. I'm gonna put something else on the table, and a lot of people might not agree. But if you decide, dude, you're recruited into it
Yep,
because you
that's
know the
facts.
game she's playing. You know the game she's playing with that other dude, and you ain't brother enough to pull it to the side, like, bruh,
Yeah,
the
that
girl
that's
off.
that's true. That is true because at the end of the day, man, being the side dude, that ain't right, man. That ain't right. Having other dudes taste your dick at night, that ain't right.
But at the end of the day, a lot of this happens because we have been trained to not see black men as good leaders. My thing is, there ain't no such thing as a man that ain't a good leader. If he's leading you, he's good.
That's not true, bro.
I
Come
told
on.
you,
No, no,
I'm,
We
no,
I'm,
get we
I'm,
get we get we go too extreme. You know
no,
what I mean?
no, brother. We're not talking about it in the context of men doing anything with each other. If the woman is following him, he's a good leader. He's
No,
going where he's going.
no, no.
He's
She
going
could
where
he
he's
could
going. Just
She
because you
could
don't
be a
agree with where
shitty
he's
leader and she
going,
could be a
no,
shitty follower. Like, come on,
no, no,
stop.
no.
Come on.
Hear what I'm saying, brother. He's going where he's going. Just because you don't agree with where he's going does not mean he's being problematic and getting
Yeah,
to
but
the
that's not
location he wants to
that is
be.
not that is not leadership. Just because people follow you doesn't make you a good leader. People follow horrible leaders all the time.
No, people follow what they want.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you a good leader. I mean, look at there's a people follow horrible people all the time.
He good enough for that particular person.
No,
It's
no.
only one. It's one woman following some random guy where he's randomly going. I don't see the problem where he's ran. He is.
But I
He
mean,
ain't.
but
He's
we got
not
to be
fooling her.
careful.
He's not
We got to be
fooling her.
careful because it's young people that's going to be listening to this, and there's such thing as good and bad leadership. And just because somebody follows you doesn't mean that you're a good leader. You can be a horrible leader. People follow horrible people all the time, right? Like look at this Trump dude next to me, DEI, right? This
Oh,
nigga's following Trump, and
oh,
Trump is a horrible leader.
now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. There are people who follow different people, but at the end of the day, if they are an adult person, who are we to say where they gotta go? So just
Yeah,
because I disagree with it does not make it bad. I
no,
don't
but I mean,
think
there's a standard. There's a standard, right? When it comes to leadership, there's a standard, right?
no.
Like, I mean, and
When,
when Truth comes on to speak, he's going to give you a perfect example of what poor leadership is. As soon as this nigga open his mouth,
Yeah, you
Hold on,
asked.
Truth Teller. Hold
I
on, Truth Teller.
guess
Let me jump in for
everybody
this one
catching
right
it
here.
today.
Let me jump
I
in.
guess
Let me
everybody
jump
gonna
in for
catch
this
it
one.
today.
Let me jump in for this
I
one.
love
Yeah,
that preemptive strike. That
Yeah.
was beautiful. I love it.
That was cute.
yeah.
That was cute.
So Roger, when a leader is going in a particular direction, and the people that choose to follow him understand that, because the whole idea is that a leader is not there to cater to you. He's going in a particular direction. If you want to go in that direction, you follow him. If you follow the wrong person, that does not make that person a bad leader. You're just a bad follower.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the uh, the number one rule that I'm gonna bring up about being a good leader is you will go when won't nobody else go. Period. A leader gonna get the job done because they decide the job needs to be done. People who want to attach themselves to that job will attach themselves to that leader. But just because that leader is going in a direction that I don't personally agree with, who am I to say he's bad? At the end of the day, a lot of people gonna do some stuff I don't agree with. It's people who going they'll hold on, they'll work a corporate job and do all kinds of stuff, and they'll be embezzling money and things like that, and they may live a somewhat decent life. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with stealing. Period.
I
But
think
does
I
that
can.
make him a bad leader for the person who wants to follow?
I
well,
think I can wrap.
hold on. The reason why is bad leadership because the impact that they have on society in different communities. And some leaders have catastrophic impacts on society and leaders. Like for example, drilling in sacred land, ruining the environment. That's a horrible
I,
decision. That's horrible leadership.
I,
You
I do
know?
understand that, but I'm only talking in the context of leadership with male and female, because
Well,
there's
I mean, yeah,
all
but
types
Thank
of
you, Roger.
positions
Because yeah,
of being leaders.
same thing in the
Roger,
black
Mr. Trump is not our leader. Mr. Trump is the leader of the plutocratic class. He's a leader
same.
of the class of
I'm
people
sorry.
that
I'm
run
sorry.
the country.
I'm
So he
sorry,
doesn't
brother.
care about all of us.
I
So
didn't
this
land my
naive
plane.
man doesn't understand who Trump is leading.
I'm
He
sorry.
thinks basically he's leading us.
I didn't land my plane, sir. Like, let's be respectful, okay? Yeah, but anyway, but again, perfect example, right? How certain, like for example, Bronk brought it up before. Men who are in marriages that are being led by females, right? And other young brothers see how women run their relationship and women run that marriage. Nobody on here is going to say that is good leadership by that man.
Okay, so here's my
Well,
perspective here. Like what we
it,
have is
hold on.
like we.
I'm gonna let you say what you say, but after you, I gotta get you telling here. Go ahead.
All right. Okay, so you got we'll just go ahead and deal with like leader on a macro scale. So you have like the best way of determining whether you have a good leader or not is by going with the results and the outcomes. But sometimes you can have bad followership. So if you pick somebody to be your leader, then you still need to be a good follower. Like it does not absolve you from your followership. Otherwise, you just pick another leader. And that's really all there is. Like Is whether he's a good leader, bad leader, medium leader, whatever. You chose to be a follower, so be the best follower that you can be.
And don't look for me to circumvent your situation, because I'm not going against that man. You picked him, you having sex with him, do what he say. But True Teller, get in there, bro. True Teller, get in there.
What's the question for today? Can you repeat it?
Coming up here all unprepared and shit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the title of the show is women.
Okay, so it's the title of the show.
Women,
Okay.
yeah, women should follow men that aren't quote unquote good leaders.
For these New York niggas.
I
See, I
didn't
already
say
told
nothing
y'all. I
yet.
already told y'all. That nigga gonna give a great
So
example, not even on the topic.
the first thing everybody's response was is you took a personal perspective on that question, right? Well, if he's a bad leader, she shouldn't follow him. If she's a good follower, it doesn't matter if he's a bad leader or not, right? If your job is not to lead, right? Because you're not a leader. Your job is to follow because you're a follower. Your whole goal is I should be following to the best of my ability. And if you're not, you can't judge the leader for being a bad leader if you are a horrible follower. It doesn't even make sense. That's like the number one and then 1A and 1B. 1A can't really criticize one for being one. 1A can only make sure that they're the best 1A they can be. And if they're not, then that's what their problem is. They can't step outside of what their problem is. So we have a lot of people, mainly women, who walk around saying he's not a good leader. Well, what in God's name do you know about leading? Nothing. You don't even want to be in that. You don't even have that role as being a leader or the responsibilities of being a leader. So why would we even listen to somebody who's questioning leadership from somebody else when they're not even in that spectrum of a role? You know how women say, "Hey, I did everything on my own," but she raised her kids are delinquents, right? She's always complaining. She's never happy. Society can't depend on them to help build society. Why would we listen to them about who the best leaders are? Then it comes to other men. Now, in our problem with identifying leaders is we're gauging them against what we think they should do. Well, if they're a leader, good or bad, what we think they should do is irrelevant. If they are a leader, the best we can do is respect their leadership. Whether it's good or bad is not our call unless we ask them to lead us. And if we're
Is
not, then we don't have a position to even judge their leadership because we're not any of their followers. Why would we? So basically, the bottom line is they could follow bad leaders. Hell, some women have to. Listen. Bad leaders need some chicks too. They got to have somebody in the umbrella because where the bad followers gonna go? The bad followers got to go somewhere. It might as well go with the bad leaders. That's better for the rest of us. And I'll leave it there.
and I'm gonna say if we were to perceive a man as a bad leader, then I'm sure he'll improve as he gets more practice.
Yeah.
Practice make perfect, don't it? So
Mhm.
when it comes down to it, why should I question any man's leadership? He's leading her. He good. She's still there, ain't she?
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
you, Roger. Because most men have an agenda that they're going to accomplish, and the woman either aligns with her agenda, you saying, which doesn't question his leadership. Because the whole idea is that I'm not going to do what I'm going to do for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I'm doing for myself, and if you're a proper follower, then you can benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? That's what leadership is. It is just like Inspired You said.
And
But
and
see,
and, and I'm saying we mess up a lot of stuff because we will take a position that some other man is not a good leader because we don't necessarily agree what he's doing with his life.
well, I mean, so let's look at communities like the Amish, right? Everybody in that community, every Amish man leads his household, right? But that man can't leave his house outside of the community norms, right? He can't be having Keisha and Lucretia in the barn blowing his back out, right? Or Saturday night. and everybody see that and then go back to his family. The community ain't gonna have that. The elders are gonna talk to him. They're gonna say, bro, what are you doing? There's a way and a standard that we live in this community. And I understand your household is your household, but you also have you're also representing the community. And see, I think this is where we fall short, right? Yes, you run your household, but you're also part of the neighborhood.
Okay.
You know where this is all going to rise? Like we're actually talking about like real things. We're talking about like real leadership and real followership. And a lot of times when the women are bringing it up, they're really just talking about like whether they accept your status or not. Like maybe you might have the attraction, but you don't have the status, or vice versa. They don't have all those three things aligned at the same time. So then it's, oh, he's a bad leader, when it's really just about like what's going on with like making it wet.
I mean, at the end of the day, a woman complains to a man to get him to try to check another man so she can get what she wants. That's what this really is. I'll say it again. A woman complains to a man about another man so she can use that man to get what she wants. She's trying to be the leader. No,
Yeah,
sister,
which means
go
she's a
follow your man. That's it. That's all I'm telling you. He ain't did nothing to piss me off. You brought it to me. Go follow your man. And if you can't follow your man, then that shouldn't be your leader. And guess what, y'all? Is when you talk to women about the fact that if you can't follow him, then it shouldn't be then it's the him in the home. Well, no, I ain't saying all that. So you want him around, but you want him around, but you're not gonna do what he say do. And you want me to have a fight with you, well, fight with this particular man, because you don't want to follow him. So now I got to come in there and quote unquote fight with him so you can get what you want. And don't none of this serve me. At the end of the day, follow your leader or get a new one. But you got to respect black men to just accept that threshold. Now I understand if he's quote unquote messing up stuff in the community, but we don't know that he's doing that. I ain't said we had a problem with the guy. She got a problem with the guy.
No,
If
but
she got a problem, she needs to learn how to follow better.
what I'm saying is that, like, so okay, say for example, we all live in a community, except for no place where he ain't allowed. And Inspired Truth is up there hitting this woman in the middle of the street. We don't want that in our community. We don't want to see husbands beating the crap out of their women on the
What
street.
what did what did inspire
Publicly.
what did inspire
Publicly.
Truth's wife do
Whatever.
to
Beat
get beat in
her
the
in
middle of
her
the
house.
street?
Beat her.
Publicly.
Don't be beating her on the street. Take it in your house, brother.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
but
okay. Take it in the house.
there's nothing wrong with if we as men have a problem with him beating his wife in the street, then we just go to him and say, "Hey, bro, keep that indoors." That's all. That's not a big
Yeah,
deal.
well, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, you know what I
That's
mean?
not a big deal. The issue that we have is because we attempt to circumvent other men's leadership because we talk to a woman about what she should and shouldn't do with some other man that
Well,
ain't us.
but what I'm saying to you is this, right? Because I'm not even I never even really brought up the woman, right? Like when I said Truth Teller was a bad leader, I don't know the women in his life. I'm just saying he's a bad leader because I know the nigga, right? No woman told me he was bad, right? So so what I'm saying is this, right? It's like yes, you're a leader, but nobody is bigger than a program. Nobody's bigger than the community. That's all I'm saying. And I'm pretty
No,
sure if Uru was up, he would say the same thing,
no,
right?
I think
Nobody's bigger
you make a great point about what I'm saying. There is a community aspect, and I'm saying from a community aspect, as a man, I got to stand down when a woman trying to get me to criticize another man because that's not good for community either.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, that's fine. But we as men don't want our children to see inspired truth doing the smackdown in the middle of the street.
I mean,
Well, I
I,
mean, we might have to. Here's where the disagreement comes in because you're basically coming in with the Christian value table, but the community may not have those values, right? If a
That's
woman's
why
out
you're
of
not my
place,
community, nigga. That's why you're not my community. I
I hear you, but in the Middle East and also where you currently live, if a woman's out of place, that might
no,
be
no, you do not
the
see. You
answer,
do not see.
right?
Okay, women do get hit
That
here.
might be the answer. Now, if you step into that while you're there, that means you're not in that community and you out of place, right?
You do not see women do not get beat in the street in China. They do not. You
Look,
do
I
not
remember
Hey,
you
hey,
telling
check
the
this out.
story of it happening.
I
Now,
Wait,
didn't
since
tell
hold
you.
on,
you,
hold on.
it,
Hold on. I remember once upon a time you told the story of that happening and you stepped in, correct?
No, what I told you was it happened at the police station. It didn't happen in the
Okay,
middle of the street. It happened at the
whatever.
police station.
But you
look,
stepped in, right?
No. The police stepped in. I'm not getting involved in that shit.
okay.
I'm
Well,
not.
Oh, okay. Okay.
this is the thing. Let's not conflate things that don't actually go together. If when you're talking to men have some level of respect for rules that men have agreed upon. That's not going to be the issue because that's not really the issue that goes on in Black America. You know what I'm saying? The issue we got is that we will fight another man on behalf of a woman. She is supposed to be being led by the man she's with, and we will fight that man because she came to us with a complaint. And now we'll get into it with the man that's leading her. She's only bothering you about this to circumvent his leadership. As a man, that's always a bad idea for you to do. Why would I try to circumvent another man's leadership with his woman? And if I do that, I am saying that it's okay for another man to come circumvent my leadership with my woman.
and also she might be
Yeah,
really into
that's
that stuff in public. Yeah, she likes that. That's what gets her where she
No,
needs to
but
be
nah,
at.
man, you gotta get out the community,
man.
bro.
You know
I
what?
don't want kids watching that. I don't want my kids seeing that.
No. We can tell the brother to do it in private, but at the end of the day, we can't look to circumvent another man's leadership because they didn't ask for your approval to even have this man. Okay. And some fathers got to deal with that too, with the women just showing up. Here's my boy. I want you to meet my boyfriend, daddy. Now we don't even take that as disrespectful as it really is, because you should never introduce me to your boyfriend. You should introduce me to the man you're interested in. But a woman should never introduce me to her boyfriend if I'm her father. That ain't supposed to happen like that. Now, and my thing is, I accept if you introduce me to your boyfriend, I accept that I'm not gonna help you solve your problems. I got goddaughters. One of them introduced me to her boyfriend. And when she said something about him one day, she trying to have a private conversation with me about what he not doing wrong. And the first thing I literally said to her was, you didn't bring this man to me and ask for my approval. That was the first thing I said. So I ain't tripping about what he's doing. You need to get in line with him. You can't bring me a man that you did not seek my approval on and then try to get me to get into it with him on your behalf. I don't care who you are. You didn't bring that man for my approval. So do what he say.
Yeah, but I understand that. But again, when it affects the community, then men need to step up and say, "Nah, this is affecting the community." As long as it's affecting the community, okay, cool, you do your thing. But when it starts affecting the community, when kids are playing in the street, and Inspired Truth is hitting her with chairs and shit and cussing her out in the street, like
God damn.
no, bro.
Told you she's into
Well,
that.
quick question. Just to throw a monkey wrench in that scenario, how come it wasn't? We need to make sure the women are following the appropriate rules and
Thank
following
you. I
correctly.
was about to say that.
Why was it that
I was
we
about to
had to
say that.
make sure the men can't do it, so we got to restrict the niggas? Why can't we say, well, women, you're not? This wouldn't have happened if you were doing what you were supposed to do. So why aren't we going that route versus we can't
So
have men
again,
doing this in the street?
we have
And
selective.
to answer your point to each other very quickly,
We have
is that
selective
also
hearing.
why are we not choosing the men for the women if it affects the community so much?
Well, no, I'm
Why
not even
doesn't
going
the
to say that
community have?
because once you because
Okay.
that's preemptive and that's outside of this, right? Because if you do you do get to choose somebody for your daughter or your cousin, your niece, your whoever, and they're their leader now, you don't have any more say after that. So what we're talking about right now is the leadership and the interrelational coordination between leaders, other leaders, and followers. So in the scenario
No,
you
I'm sorry.
just described,
So
we don't want our kids to see no dude.
we're having
Right, we don't want
selective
our
hearing.
kids.
Let me
Well,
respond to
no,
you.
we don't want our kids. I was about to summarize. We don't want our kids seeing this
Right.
kind of thing in the street. So your suggestion was we can't have dudes doing this, right? instead of
No, I
women
actually I
should
didn't say that.
be
I said
following their leaders
I
better,
did not say so.
right?
First of
Is
all,
what I'm saying.
I said I don't want. I never said we can't have Jews doing this. I said this. I don't want my kids to see that stuff. I don't want my kids to see you two, again, you two arguing with each other.
So why
And he
didn't you
doing
reference
that.
women? Yeah, why didn't you reference women in your solution then?
I referenced them both. You
You said
too.
you too, but then you said men because we're talking about the leaders. So you didn't make mention of
Okay.
anything
So
followers
first,
should do,
so
right?
first of all, he's the leader. So I'm going to address the person who's going to make the decision. Going to make the decision making. Just like
And
when
his
something,
decision was to beat it with a
just like
chair,
when something's wrong,
right?
just like if something's
Exactly.
wrong at
Exactly,
the
True Teller.
restaurant, right? You talk to the manager. You don't want to talk to the waiter anymore. You talk to the manager. So let's stop with the theatrics.
No, it's
Second
not
point.
theatrics. You're.
That
Oh, sorry. Go
it
ahead.
is. Let's stop
My
with this
fault.
because niggas want to go talk to the manager. So let's stop with these
Okay.
reactions. And second of all, right? I don't give a good goddamn. All of my point is I don't want children in my community to see that. So solve it. I don't care how it's solved. I don't care who talk, whatever. Just don't be doing that in the street.
Now
Solve it. I don't care how.
No, I'm giving a solution to help us solve that problem. To me, that doesn't happen in the street when women go to other men and the men say, "Do what your leader told you to do."
That's it.
Well,
I think that's how you solve. If
well,
women
Miss
have an
Mark
understanding,
picked up the chair and threw it at her, so
no, I'm saying realistically, if women have an understanding that if I go to another man about a man, and that other man gonna tell me to do what my leader told me to do, eventually they get the point. His point is to go to another man in the first place.
no, but I'm not. See, you're not folk. Anyway, we can move on.
Then she'll go to a man that will do it in the
Point.
street.
No,
You're right.
I'm focused on what you're saying, but I'm also saying that if we don't want a problem in the street, she needs to have an understanding that there is no getting around who her leader is.
But I mean, this nigga is throwing chairs at her, smacking her up. She's not smacking him. He is smacking her.
She gonna either do what he says so he don't do that, or she can pick a new leader.
Even
No,
if
she
she's not
got
doing
a
what
choice
she's
to pick
saying,
somebody else. She don't got to
even
be with
if
him.
Roger, even if she's not doing what he's saying, do not hit your wife in front of the children.
So now we're back to the men. Solutions for the men. What are the solutions for the women?
Well, if she is punching him, same thing. Don't be hitting your husband in front of the children.
No. She's not punching anything. She's taking punches, right? She's taking
Right, yeah,
something has occurred, and she's taking the blows based on whatever occurred and whatever rules were violated that the leader of her family decided that she has to be corrected for.
Right.
Why are we just saying he needs to do this, he needs to do that, he needs to do anything?
Because he is the
You haven't
aggressor.
right. So if he's
are we in the Twilight Zone? This motherfucker.
I don't think it's that we're in the Twilight
True
Zone.
Teller.
I think
True
we have to
Teller.
come to the thing where
True.
if he is the aggressor and she's still being with him, then she the problem. Because why are you
True
with him?
Teller.
You don't need to be with him.
True Teller.
That's how he handles it. As a leader, that's how he handles it. Dissension. That's how he handles dissension.
True Teller. I've been giving y'all the answer to this for months, and y'all keep not listening. There is no such thing as a woman who ever got struck by a man for being agreeable.
That's true.
There's no such thing as a woman that ever got struck by a man for being obedient. All you gotta do is be agreeable and obedient. That's it. Do what the man says.
Yep.
And all I'm saying is my response to any woman who's having an issue with getting hit by a chair, either do what he says so he stops hitting you with that chair, or just simply get a new man.
Apparently he's trying to. Apparently he's been trying to make a point with you for a while. You just haven't been listening. The man just got overly frustrated with explaining.
Y'all niggas are not walking on my community at all. None of y'all niggas.
And agreeing not to hit women under no circumstance leads to bad behavior. You can't agree to not hit her under no circumstance. She will just act up.
And the funny thing is, all y'all niggas live around white people, and you know damn well you wouldn't be hitting your wife in front of
But
white people.
well, I
You
don't
act
live
like you live
around white
around
people.
all black people, man. You live around all Chinese people.
I,
So
I don't live around white people, so as a representative who don't live around no white folks at all, at least I hope they ain't around me. I sure hope, I mean, it is what it is.
The
Um,
rest of these niggas are. The rest of these niggas on the panel live around white
hey,
people.
if she getting hit by a chair, she wrong. That's the thing. See, we make the funny comment. No, look, we make the funny comment or whatever, and now she getting hit by a chair. Why is she getting hit by a chair in the first place? Because the way I calculate life. Usually,
Man,
if you get hit by a chair, you wrong.
y'all
That's how it
communities
really
will call
goes,
the cops. Y'all communities will call the cops for you
oh man.
with the quickness.
bro.
With the
If you got hit by when somebody is mad enough to hit you with an actual chair, you probably really messing up at the end of the day. And
with
when
the
it comes down to it, if you're willing to take getting hit by a chair to stay in that relationship, there's no advice I'm gonna give you that's gonna help you. Because the first thing I'm gonna say, if you don't want to if you don't like getting hit by chairs, get with a man that don't believe in hitting you by with a chair. But I know she want to get hit with that chair. I know that already. She likes to bother him enough. She likes to put her finger in his face or smack him around or whatever the case is making him hit her with that chair. That's what she likes. And at the end of the day, if I know that's what she like, I can't separate her from herself.
Yeah, you have to take things real, real far with a black man to actually have him do anything with a black woman like that. Like, if you see that, there's just a hell of a lot under the surface that you ain't seeing in
Look, man,
reality. Yeah.
why do I care if she won't get hit by a chair? Why is this a big deal to me? I'm a man. You telling me about your man? He gets so mad with you, he hit you with a chair. Why is this a big deal? If you want to be with him and you like getting dick down by that man, and maybe it takes you a week or two to heal up, but after you heal up, you take some more dick. Why is him hitting you with a chair even a big deal?
because
It's clearly worth it to you.
it's an eyesore to the community. It brings down property prices when you want to sell your home, and it's going to have a bad reputation to where you live. So
No,
I mean,
brother.
where,
I
where,
don't think
where
so
is
because
Black Uber, man? That's what we need, Black Uber, because
I don't think so
niggas can
because
sit there.
I
At
don't have
least
no.
it's,
I'm saying I
um,
don't have no issue with asking the man if you gonna hit her with the chair, just do it in the house. I ain't got no issue with that. But she want to get hit by a chair, bro. That's what she want.
man, I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
I ain't even comfortable with telling him that. Because I just don't feel like I have jurisdiction to tell him how to do anything with his followers.
But
Yeah,
what?
but the community is more important than
I don't even know how that relates to community because
what,
what you're suggesting, if you just tell that to the woman, hey, you like him, do what he tells you. So this won't happen.
well,
You
let me
get the
say it
same
better
Davis
too.
came up.
results,
Let me
Go
say
right?
ahead,
it better.
Davis.
Yeah, let me say this better too. I don't have a problem asking him to keep it in the house when he beat her with the chair. Oh, I don't have no problem asking, but at the end of the day, it's got to be a request because he's a man. And if I say men should be respected, that means I have to respect other men.
but he
My
also has to respect the other men in the community as well.
so
It's a
you can
two
ask. You can ask.
street.
Okay.
Right.
But
And he
if
might
he
comply, or he might say no,
yeah,
right?
if
You
he hitting
know,
her with a chair, I mean, if it's bad enough that he hitting her with a chair, at the end of the day, man, I got to let that man work that thing out. Cause I ain't had no woman that wanted me that pissed me off so much. I wanted to hit her with a chair, like for real, for
yeah,
real. So if he at that point, he needs to work that out because they definitely got something that needs to be resolved. So get that man some room, y'all. Sometimes people have these special aids. When you get hit by a car, you need a little bit extra. That's all I'm saying. Give a person a little bit extra. You was on a motorcycle, you fell off, you hurt yourself real bad. Give him a little extra, man. Give him a little extra grace, okay? Give him a little extra. But let me turn it over to the nameless protagonist. Appreciate you for being here. Y'all remember what the rules are. Go ahead, nameless.
Yeah.
You got the flow.
To the chat and the instructors on the panel. Os.
Oh,
Oof.
Oh,
I want to again play neutral force here and just submit an idea for you guys to kind of work with and see if this helps as kind of an enzyme to digest this concept, especially as it relates to leadership. So I want to present the idea of leadership, firstly, being a social contract. If we can start there, then we understand there's certain things you have to have with contract law. And we'll just say it's a social contract that essentially puts an individual in a position of service to somebody who is willing to submit to the authority of said individual. And if we understand leadership from that kind of give or take exchange, then there's two things that immediately become very clear that we're kind of speaking about, I believe. This is my subjective opinion here outside of looking in and having seen this from different perspectives. You've got high trust leadership and low trust leadership. And I think the end results of that are in low trust leadership environments, what you end up with is a delegation of liability. And that's important because it ascribes and implies a set of tasks and instances of accountability that are automatically attached and forced in a way that doesn't reward individuals using the authority that they're supposed to be embedded with to properly problem solve, versus responsibility, which is something that's very different. There's a measure of autonomy that's in place there. There are more tools available for you to problem solve. And there's less interference when you get into the process of problem solving. Typically speaking, what we tend to experience in the Anglosphere is an axis of power shared by mothers in the state for the most part, where the state acts as the ultimate authority, a kind of leverage piece or a proxy power that can be leveraged against to serve as the ultimate authority enforcer. And there are a lot of cultural reasons as to why and how that happened. This channel, a lot of places in the space go over the specific bits of legislation that make that easier. But the emergent outcome of that is that you've got people who are operating, for the most part, in our community in a low trust leadership environment, which is delegation of liability. And for a lot of the complaints that occur, it's when it comes down to who is going to be the one that addresses when the violation of the social code is experienced, who has the authority to course correct, the ability to hold people accountable. And this is the complete hiccup that typically starts a lot of topics we see on this channel in the space. It's a feature of the Anglosphere at this point. And I'll be clear, I describe the Anglosphere as any place on the planet where the population is both majority white and the primary language is English. So a lot of these things trickle down here because regardless of what happens behind closed doors, the people who are going to submit to leadership, it's because leadership is a submission piece. You have to talk about the authority piece, which is the ability to punish and reward. And if the state is handling a lot of that, and you're in an environment where there's
Makes
low
a
trust,
whole lot of sense to me.
your ability to actually problem solve is so restricted that a lot of the problems really stem from this lack of leverage than it might the individual's actual aptitude at leadership. That's what I wanted to submit for your consideration.
All right.
No, that's good, Nameless. That's good. I'm actually experiencing that right now as we speak.
How you gonna say it's good on my channel? Let me say when it's good. No, I'm just
I'm sure you agree, though.
I'm joking. No, I think that's an extremely important piece, and that's why I've said in the past, and I'm gonna say it again. If you're dealing with a woman who believes that it's okay to include a third party in y'all relationship, it's time for you to walk away. I ain't gonna even tolerate third party. Once you call somebody else, it's over with.
Yeah, that whole part about responsibility. Like if I don't have the ability to respond, then I'm not just going to sit there and then have the ability to just absorb blame.
If I can't punish you, you ain't my woman.
So, but
black male leadership is very restricted.
I want to ask Nameless something, okay? So you mentioned about low. What is it?
I said low trust. Low trust. I said low trust results in a liability base.
Low trust.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, fam.
So let me guide you to you and your samurai niggas living in the community, right?
I don't trust this nigga. I just want to tell
And
you that.
right, and
It's all good. Go ahead,
It's a
Hustle.
low trust question.
and and since you guys are Japanese, you're collectivism, right? So no man is above the program, correct?
They're culturally established. Okay, so I like calling it dojo etiquette.
Okay,
To
so dojo
participate in
etiquette,
so to
no one's
participate in
above
the
the program,
to
correct?
participate in the process at
Yes or
all.
no, please. Yes or no,
Yes,
please.
you have to submit. That's what that is. Yes, you have to submit.
Okay, thank you. Now, so if there is a rule that says, I don't want our children seeing you doing a smackdown on your woman in public, is that subjecting that nigga's leadership, or that's just the rules of the community?
It could be either or, but we're gonna say in most instances, if the community has given a green light for that, and people would know that ahead of time, people just mind their business and keep walking. If it is
I'm
something,
sorry, I can't hear you. Can you repeat that? Or I think I'm borging.
I can
I think
hear
his
you. Can
answer.
you guys hear me?
No, I hear you fine.
hear
I
everybody.
think
Yeah,
it's
I
the
think you
answer
hear.
that is messing with him. I think.
Hold on, I can't. All right, say that again. No, something like I was
Like
borging.
he didn't like what he
Repeat
heard.
that again.
He didn't like what he heard.
Okay. So what you're doing is just so I'm clear, you're asking from with dojo
I'm
etiquette,
just
so
asking
to speak.
simple yes or no questions, my brother.
This
That's it.
this is based on, again, dojo etiquette. I'm gonna say,
Right.
generally speaking, it's already understood what's going on between something domestically is what's going on domestically. It is assumed that if you are in the position of head of household, you're the dude that's there, there's certain things that are automatic. However you choose to discipline it is how you choose to discipline it. Now, people are going to be told, mind your business, and that's 99% of the time what happens. But there could be instances if there's other eyes there. Go ahead.
We're driving down the winding road. Let me make it more plain. Does the dojo rules supersede your household rules if you're living in that community?
I'm gonna say if the public is involved and they see it.
Thank you. Case closed, niggas. Case closed. So there you go.
It's
So
not.
I can give a rebut. So the complication.
Wait, what is he using my statement for? Just so I know, truth teller.
I
haven't used as a blunt instrument.
Well, the flaw in his point is he was trying to make it seem like it's two separate rules. That's the flaw. Normally, these things, in the example, your dojo rules coincide with social rules.
Exactly.
It's usually a child of that, right? It's usually a sub level of that. So they're not two separate things. But yes, social rules can overtake, the familial personal rules. But normally the social rules help build those familial personal rules. So they're intertwined. They're not separate. So what happens is, sure, shoot.
Can I give you a good word that articulates that I use all the time?
Oh, please.
I'm gonna say they run concurrent and they operate in superposition to one another. So what that means that there's very specific nuance, and that's what people mean about how good you were raised. Because we'll use dojo etiquette for that. What you can get away with as a sensei is not the same as what somebody that can get away with that's a kohai or a student, for example. You're held to a higher level of expectation as a sensei than you would be an individual that's a kohai or a regular student. So much more so an individual that is a credential holder of a particular ryuha or a particular social position or elevation. Whether or not that has any real attachment to real life and practicality, it's similar to how preachers ideally are treated versus, people finding out the way they carry out in real life. It's no different. These things do run concurrent. And I guess it becomes indistinguishable. Inextinguishable between something that can be considered separate if you want to isolate a scenario from one or the other. I'll give you a quick illustration of what I'm talking about. We'll use self-defense as a textbook illustration of that. Somebody who is a student that has a mastery of the discipline, if they get into a physical altercation, that particular individual has a higher potentiality to cause harm to individuals, especially if they're not trained. So there's a level of scrutiny, a barrier, a threshold to pass that's higher for that's lower for that student than the sensei or the instructor of the exact same thing they're practicing. Because
one second, please. 1 second. Roger, I have a quick question for you. Is this not the place of habitual line steppers?
It is. We're gonna step on the line habitually.
I don't know what these niggas are talking about because this is the land of habitual line steppers. So all y'all niggas are constantly crossing the line. So I don't know why we're talking about the communities and community and individual households are the same when all y'all niggas, well, except for Mr. Samurai, all y'all niggas claim to be habitual line steppers.
The only way you can have
including
a community,
including you,
in black for black folks to have a community in America, you're gonna have to step over the line. That's just the.
But that was why in the original.
It's on 1,000 right now. It's on 1,000 hypocrisy.
But that's why I wanted to introduce, and I interrupted Truth Teller. I want Truth Teller to get back at it again.
Well, before you say that, let me give a shout out to Bright Phantom, who dropped the $2 on a Cash App. He said domestic abuse shelter tax. Shout out to you,
All right. Hey, listen, man. Brock is exempt because his women beat on him. And, he takes it like a man.
He's exempt.
That's that snoo life. Oh my God.
Brock, tap the phone if you need help, Brock. Tap the phone.
But let me say this, and I'll go ahead and pass it on. That's why I wanted to introduce the idea and the consideration of the line of authority and what that looks like in an environment of high versus low trust. And it's why so many people, when like a healthy sign of this going down is people minding their damn business. But when you've got the entire political apparatus that goes out of its way to intervene in those scenarios, this is where you get the social corruption. And this is where you get the low trust liability base of, a real man would insert noun or whatever, insert verb, etc. Go ahead, fam.
I like to push back.
Real quick. Shout out to Black Rules Stripes. He says it's possible the public might perceive a public correction to be necessary because of the severity of the public misbehavior. They might also believe the woman is being especially defiant, which I believe is totally legitimate to say. Also, Black Rules Strike says simply, if he has to resort to being an a-hole, I'll say a-hole to her in public, she must have done something foul. She must have done some foul-ish. And I'm going to say, look, because I can trust you men enough that if he makes a decision to correct her in public, I trust you made the right choice. That's simple to me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to throw this again because I didn't say it before already. I told y'all there was a time frame when my parents had told me and my brothers and sisters that wherever we mess up, that's what we getting it. And I told y'all that resulted in me getting beat on the corner. And the kid coming to school the next day talking about wasn't that you on the corner getting a whooping. You see what I'm saying? So this public
I bet you they look at it, Roger. I bet you other kids look at it and be like, that can't be me, right? They probably said that, right? That ain't gonna be me.
I was definitely talking about that wasn't me, but at the end of the day, it definitely was me.
Roger, it would have been me saying, yeah, that was you. I saw your ass.
So I will say that public display taught me a whole lot. I'm gonna say it definitely was good for me. Okay, I don't caught the public display, but I ain't gonna tell my brothers and sisters business like that. I ain't the only one who caught it. Somebody
Wait,
call it ain't working out
For
there.
all the religious,
y'all
for all the
know
religious,
right now
Go
in
ahead,
for
Japan,
all the
right?
religious
Y'all
brothers,
know
for
right?
all the religious brothers,
Y'all
for all the religious
Brown,
brothers,
Brown,
what
don't
did they
corrupt
used to do to
language.
women
Brown,
when
don't
they commit
corrupt
adultery?
language.
I was
Go
saying,
ahead,
do
go
y'all know
ahead.
right now in Japan, just to kind of iterate the order of operations here? You know how the trains in the public environment is really crowded and how they started making the whole separate train for women and all the SA charges that are being mounted up dramatically that are being aggregated by or aggravated by a lot of the fourth wave feminists that are out there. That's been a thing since COVID. But in response to that, because of how serious a SA charge is, some people could end up with 15 years in prison and lose their ability to work. It's gotten so bad that the false allegations of it, that if it looks like a woman is coming too close to a dude and may try that mess, dudes are just throwing hands in public out the gate,
Ooh.
throwing bags, swinging on them because the charge for fighting is a year, maybe two, 6 months normally versus 15 years of your life getting screwed over.
She gonna have to get it.
Whoa.
I
She
mean, by
gonna have
that,
to get it.
yeah,
That's
by that
crazy.
math,
That's
by that
crazy.
math,
That's crazy, right,
it
Roger?
is.
I'm just giving you a
Sounds
difference
like
in
Uh,
order of
a
operation.
sounds like a logical solution to me. I don't know about
Exactly.
y'all, but
Hey, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. But let me get Bronca
Roger,
here. Let me get Bronca
we
here,
talk.
y'all.
Hold
No,
Bronca came up.
I was gonna ask the question to the religious guys, right? Like, who reads the Old Testament would actually have a problem with a public beating of a woman when they were literally
Well,
stoning women publicly back then for adultery?
yeah,
on.
but they
I'm not a
weren't
religious person, bro. Let's
weren't
get you.
beating
I'm not
women.
a
They
religious
weren't
person, but I
beating
agree.
women. They weren't beating women in the street like that. Like if she committed adultery, then yeah, that's stoning, and they would judge her, which means to put her to death. But if it wasn't a situation of putting someone to death, they wouldn't. It wouldn't be anything other than that. They weren't hitting women and spitting on women and dogging them out in public on the street.
Look. This my thing. Y'all be trying to give feminists all kinds of tools and stuff to work with. Man, if he hit her in public, why is it a big deal? Is that his woman or is it not his woman? Is she
It's
with
an
him or is she
eyesore to
not
the
with him?
community. It's an eyesore to the
No,
community.
no, no. The thing is the behavior is the eyesore. The correction is not. I think people need to see other people corrected because you should be able to learn without the experience. If I see you get beat down by a particular person, I know not to bother that man. You took the beating, so I didn't have to. You know, Hope
Laws,
did that, so I ain't had to do that.
laws change
You
by the
feel me,
will of
Roger?
the people. Laws change by the will of the people. They change by the behavior of the people, and we gotta stop waiting on the law to change to be on our side. We
Yeah,
need to start implementing things that become popular, so to speak, to where legislators take note and implement it as law because it's effective in the community. So if we start minding our business, the laws will change.
yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, Shot,
It's not an eyesore to the community, it's an eyesore to her because she ain't listening.
it's gonna be her
It's the
eye.
community, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
It's gonna be her eye that has a sword. Shout out to Black Who Strikes. He said my cost benefit analysis says that behind gets whipped. Okay, and I'm gonna say, look, y'all, I understand we're using this example as the extreme example, but at the end of the day, in America, all relationships are socially voluntary. If you in it and you take a whooping, you know you were supposed to be whooped. Just like when you was a small child and you did stuff you know you ain't had no business doing, and you got that whooping, you know exactly why you got it.
and just so that we understand, and this is a little this is it's similar to yesterday's show as well. Everyone likes to put their bias in on what other people are doing, which is why in my mind, if I see something like that happening and then the two people are together, that's none of my business. I don't care if the dude is right or wrong. I don't care if she's right or wrong. That's not for me to figure out, nor am I planning to take responsibility for anybody involved. So I don't care what's happening. I don't care what the moral thing is. I'm not trying to apply any of that to the people that I am not putting under my umbrella. And that's where our problem is. We like to try to put what we personally feel, our feelings, and try to apply it to everyone else and say it's
Well,
communal and say it's right and wrong. We people don't even understand what morals really are. We could do a show on that because if we did a show on that,
well,
everybody got a different set of morals, and morals aren't real, by the way. But in any case, you can't apply your own rules to people when you don't even understand the contract they have with each other and how that works. You should
well.
not be involved. That's you getting out of your swim lane. That's you stepping out of your place. And if you have to step out of your place, that means you're wrong, not them.
So anyway, Roger, I gotta go. Y'all gentlemen be good. But since y'all love beating women so much, y'all belong right in Jamaica. There y'all go.
You the one brought it up. What do you
You
want brought
did.
So
Now you
y'all,
leave
y'all
it.
take y'all ass to Jamaica, get married, and then y'all have a reason to really get.
up?
They fight back though. They
I'm
fight back
just
over there. You
saying.
gotta be
If
careful.
my memory is correct, he's the one that brought that up. Okay.
Nobody was talking about that before he brought it up.
Did we defeat
Yeah.
him? Did he get defeated? Is that why he's gone? So
Hey
you
man.
want us to agree with that?
What
Anyhow,
I'm just saying that's not even for us to judge. That's why I try. When I'm looking at situations, I really try to look at it without my own bias, right? So I'm literally, if I see something happening, I'm just gonna ask a couple questions about what happened. I'm not even gonna ask the moral value questions. Hey, did somebody lie? Did somebody not lie? Because honestly, I don't think everybody should always tell the truth in society. Society can't work that way. Some people should be lied to. Some people have to overcome lies in order to progress. It's just a part of life. So I don't look at things in the same way as far as, hey, my own moral makeup. Now, I do, if people state that we have to have certain rules respecting men's leadership, black men's leadership, then there are certain things that have to go along with that in order for that to be true. And that's when you hear me, speak up for certain things. And I say, well, if he's the leader, you got to do this or you're not respecting his leadership. That's really what that's based around. It's not even how I feel or even maybe how I function in society myself. It's just if this is the rule we're setting, they're going to be there's going to be sequential and sub rules that have to go along with that for this primary rule to work. And most
well,
people don't think like that.
I'm
The
a,
primary
I'm
the primary rule is respect black men and their leadership, and the subset is mind your business.
yeah. And I'm gonna say congratulations to y'all because a grenade got thrown out there and everybody seemed to have moved well enough that we all survived. That's what I'm gonna say because
That is
you know
true.
the whole beating women thing is something that's used to try to get black men to second guess themselves. I'm not saying he was doing it for that reason, but it's something generally used to get black men to second guess themselves. And my thing is, if he beats her and it's his woman, why is that so bad? She like it enough to be in the relationship. Why can't y'all let them have their fun? I mean, do we break into your bedroom and y'all doing stuff that we wouldn't necessarily agree with? He hit her. I wouldn't necessarily agree with it. So I'm supposed to break in his bedroom and stop him. Some of y'all like to get down and y'all want to use weird oils and peg each other and all that type of stuff. So I come in your bedroom and stop you? No, man, let them people have their fun. Whatever they consider fun, let them have that, man. They ain't hurting nobody. If they only hurting each other, they ain't hurting nobody. Okay. Shout out to Black Rule Strikes. He said one of my all-time favorite scenes in the recent series is when the Punisher dealt hands to those female killers in the restroom. It was like a song was playing in my heart.
No.
Uru need to come up and sing, man. He need to come up and sing the song.
Now, this is my thing, y'all. A lot of times, again, we keep forgetting that relationships are socially voluntary. Now, maybe we was in another country, and the women got to be with the man who picked them. Maybe some of these arguments would make more sense. But in America, every relationship is a socially voluntary relationship when it comes to a man and a woman. And at the end of the day, if I'm cool with somebody and he got a girlfriend and his girlfriend requires him to beat on her, why is that a big deal to me? I ain't hit her. I don't feel guilty. I'm fine with it. And people may say, "Ooh, Roger, you fine with some man hitting on a woman?" I respect the woman. You don't. There are women who need men to hit on them so they can feel safe. Why is that bad?
No, it's true.
It
It's
sounds
very true.
funny, but is
Yeah,
that
I
not a
know.
very
real
true.
thing?
So Roger, you agree that if we see a man beating on a woman in public, we should just simply ask, "Hey, is that your woman?" He like, "Oh yeah, this mine." "Oh, okay, I was just
No,
making
I ain't
sure."
asking him nothing. I ain't asking him nothing.
It's gonna be obvious they're together. But let's keep it real, bro. Having women come online and said the reason they mess with a certain kind of dude is
Yep.
because they want
Yeah,
to
that's wild.
feel safe.
Yeah, that's wild.
If he'll jack me up, I know he'll jack up that other dude. She want to feel safe. Should I actually ask a woman to be in a situation where she doesn't feel safe?
You know, I just,
The other
you know, I
side to
just
that,
wanted to,
Roger, is does
I just
that
wanted to make sure, I just wanted to make sure she wasn't getting beat up by a stranger. All right, that's all. That's all.
that's all. I was just saying, but whether the other side of that is, if that is happening, does that make him a bad leader? And I have
No,
to say no,
see, the
right?
reason why we question this is because we don't understand what Klingons are, and some of these women are just Klingons, and you got to go through the ritual of beating them up before you can have sex.
There
This
you
is
go.
what it is, man.
It's a ritual.
That's true. But it's not just that. So fundamentally the problem is, again, we're using our own emotions, morals,
Yeah,
ideals to judge somebody else's circumstance, right? So he's a bad leader because I wouldn't do it that way, or my mother doesn't think it should be done that way, or my wife doesn't
yeah,
think it should be done that way. Because truth be told, there really is no such thing as a bad leader, right? Because if you're actually a good leader, if people are actually willing to follow you, that's literally you're willing to take responsibility for people, and people are willing to let you take responsibility for them. That's really it. You don't even have to have what we call successes, to tell you the truth.
I
See,
mean, if we want,
hot sauce, hot sauce is a majority. They pray a lot. They have their prophet
Yeah,
and all this
right.
other stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And the Klingon mating ritual is offensive to him. I'm not even mad at him. I just understand there's a difference in culture there. But all you
well,
gotta do is mind your business.
well
That's all you
this,
gotta do. Mind your
this
business.
is this is my thing. I think he threw that out as an extreme just to kind of make a point. But I'm gonna say there's
Right.
all types of things that I have to accept because I'm a realistic person. Uh, um, People say, well, the man need to make X amount of dollars. Using my own common sense, I don't think my daddy was rich when he got my mama. That's a lot of
Neither
y'all
was
don't think your
mine.
daddy was rich when he got your mama. So when people say, well, he got to be doing this and he has to have achieved this and you know he got to be able to have this and put you in it, I don't believe in that stuff because people was getting together poor and loving each other, which means they don't have this quote unquote certain level of success that people would claim you're supposed to have. If that was an actual requirement, most of us would have never been born. How you get people to come out of slavery and then say they had to be rich to be with somebody, and we all actually make it here? That don't happen. Okay, I have no issue with some 18-year-old guy getting his first job and having a woman at the same time. I ain't got no issue with that. Why can't he have one?
Roger, are you saying my mama picked a bad leader? Roger, is that what you trying to say?
I mean, people would suggest that. People would suggest that. Your daddy wasn't even making 25,000 a year back then.
Nope.
He didn't need to get her.
Well, hey, in case I see a woman getting that work in public, I only got one question for that. Damn, what do you do
for?
Yep.
That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, what she do is a great question to ask. But I'm gonna say I don't even care what she did. She did what she did. These are the results. I got whooped on the corner when I was a kid, and it worked out for me. You know what I'm saying? When I was quote unquote still getting embarrassed, when that dude, I ain't gonna say his name, but when dude just, hey, bro, wasn't that you on that corner? He like wouldn't let it go, y'all. He wouldn't let it go. I learned my lesson. That's what I'm gonna say. I learned my lesson because dude wouldn't let it go, man. No, bro, I
Roger,
know
what
that
you
was
tell
you.
him? What was you telling him? Like, what was you saying to him?
What the hell did you call me? Reset.
A majority.
A what?
A
A
A
majority.
majority.
bajoran. The people that might have their ears and have the chains on their nose. I
You
mean,
gotta watch
the
Star
chains on
Trek.
their
You
ears.
gotta watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
I don't.
There's
Yeah.
I don't follow that bullshit.
The female, the female
the
actor with the thing on her nose, with the
So
tattoo on her
the,
nose, those are bajorans.
the, the
all right. But
majority were
anyway,
very religious people
Yeah.
in Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
They believed in spirituality and all that good
all
stuff.
right.
They were
So
also in the next generation to GBR. Remember,
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine
Yeah,
came
I'm
after
gonna
Next
say is
Generation.
this. I
you're
didn't
right.
grow up. So what I'm gonna say is this, because you guys like to hear what you want to hear instead of what's being said. I never disagreed with even hitting a woman. I just said, don't do that shit in public. That's what I said. And I wasn't taking the woman's side or the man's side. I was saying both of that shit because we don't want
Well,
that shit in our community. And
Well,
what
no,
I
you
was
told the man to correct himself. So that the,
and also what I was saying is that there are community and social norms. No man is an individual. That's where the fundamental disagreement is, right?
no,
Like so, yeah.
no, I don't think that's a fundamental disagreement. I accept that that's the thing, and if we create a community and we get to the point where we say we shouldn't hit them in public, I'm cool with that. Are we at that particular point right now? I don't. I wouldn't believe so because of how things are going. At some point in time, we cannot have a community that we say we want if we won't respect other men's ability to lead their households the way they need to lead their
Yeah,
household.
you can lead the household, but again, well, I come from I've been living in collectivism community for a while, so for me, it's the community rules, then the house rules, and your individual home rules don't supersede the community rules. And if you don't like that, then you shouldn't live in that community.
No, no, I agree.
what's it?
I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, I don't think we're at a point where we can say, from a community standpoint, keep it in the house. I don't
Well,
think we're there.
what I mean community, I mean in neighborhoods. I don't mean like community as the
No,
whole.
no,
Like
I'm saying in the neighborhood. I don't think we're at the point we could just say, "Amen," to keep it in the house. Now, I don't think we're at that point. Not
I
from
think
what
we
I
are.
see.
I think we are. I think we are.
These women are showing out in public, bro.
Hey,
You
I was
don't
They're
have
just
to
about to
showing
wear
Thank
it.
you,
say.
out.
GBR.
I was just
You
about
don't
to
have to
say, like,
wear
how
it to
about?
be weird.
Do you think that most women in America need their ass beat or no?
No, no.
Yeah, I
What?
see. I disagree. I think most of them need
No,
their ass
because
beat.
you know what,
He said, I disagree.
let me say this. Let me say this.
These bitches out of control.
Let me say this. Let me
He
say
said
this.
the most nonchalant
No, hold
disagree.
on.
I
Let me
disagree.
say this. Let me say this shit right now. But let me ask you this. How? So you're telling me that most women need their ass beat, right? That's what y'all saying to me right now,
Yes,
right?
yes, that's what I'm saying.
All
I don't
right.
know if
Okay,
anybody
cool.
else, but I'm saying
Well,
it.
how many of y'all niggas right now beating the shit out of your women?
Yeah, and I was gonna say, look,
Okay,
real
there it
real
is.
I
talk.
I,
I
Yeah,
I,
don't
I
think
don't
I
have to,
will.
so I'm
I
good.
don't think it matters
I don't
if
have to.
most of them need to get beat or not. The thing is,
Checkmate.
should any of them get beat is the question. Not is most or non-most. Should any of them get beat? And the truth be told is, yes, there are women who seek out a beating. And the thing is, they're adults. I gotta respect it. And if we
The
get the community,
police,
if we get the
the
community
police
to
are
a point,
knocking their asses out over here. The police.
uh, and,
Listen,
and
like I
if we
said,
get to
The
the
police
point,
doing it more than anybody
hold
else.
on, look. The main thing is we got to get to a point as a community that we have enough order and structure where we don't need to have that on public display. We're not
How
there yet.
many of you niggas right now in your relationship are hitting the shit out, being the shit out of your women?
Just
And
because I'm
second,
not doing it don't mean nobody else should.
so
Right.
so
Look,
so
look,
my
look,
point.
look, 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 look. The
So
point
so
is,
so hold on,
I'm pretty sure most of us
let me do
will
my
if we
second
had
point.
to.
Let me second point, right? And then for the women that need to, bro, I don't need that in my life, brother. If I need to hit a woman, I don't need to be with her, quite frankly.
But you
And,
see,
and
when you say it that way, you overstep the need for it, right? Just because it's fine, right? And again, this is placing this responsibility on the men, and because of a poor follower, you're taking
How
away his
how
ability.
how
Hold
how
on,
how am I?
you're taking away his ability to reward and punish, which is part of his role as a leader.
No, hold on.
By
Time out.
saying
Time
that,
out. Time out. Time out. I said I don't need to be in the. Who is
correct. But
he?
you're saying that, but you're saying
He.
that at least it applies to everybody. It
No,
only
I'm
applies
saying
to you. So what good is that
I
response if it's
I
only
said
you?
me. I did not say this
Right.
is
But what does
this
that have to do with society? Right.
okay,
But you're
what
But what
speaking
about
for
because
what about
society.
I
this? Hold
Hold
said
on.
on,
Hold on.
Roger.
Hold on. Hold on.
no
Hold on.
no
I
no
need to
Okay.
clarify.
no
I
no
need to
no no
clarify
no no
something
no no no
because
no no no.
you speak
No,
socially
I
and
said
groupily, but then when
I
you get
said
pushback, you then reference to ad hoc, just me.
he
Right.
just
Exactly.
asked
So
about
that's
me.
the
Exactly, Truth
problem.
Teller. Great point.
He
You
Great
asked
can't
point.
about
you
me.
can't play both sides of the fence. You
Yes,
gotta
he.
if you speaking for
I'm
if you
no, no,
speaking
no,
for
no, no, no.
social
See,
norms, you gotta have
this is
social
the thing,
rules,
bro. This is the thing.
not rules just for
You
me.
you don't when you're making statements, you're not making sense. He asked me he asked me a question. He said, "Do
Right,
most black women deserve to get beat?" And I said,
right,
"No." And then I said,
right.
"How many of y'all are?" And you said, "None." And then I said, "Me." Then I began to talk about me. I'm not talking about everybody else. I began to talk about me, only about me,
Right, but your
when
whole point is for the
no,
social
no, no,
the
no, 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 no,
social
no.
organization.
Because when I was talking about the community, I didn't even
Uh-huh.
say don't hit a woman. I just said don't put that shit outside. You see,
All right, here,
I didn't even say don't
here,
do it.
here.
No,
Let me
I was
fix so we
talking
don't have to go through
outside.
this back and forth. In that same statement, the whole
Just
sentence you were saying,
make
you
it
reference.
listen.
Hold on. You reference somebody else doing it in public, and you made reference to yourself saying, "Hey, well, if that's necessary, I don't need to do with it," as if it's a solution for somebody else to do it. You made a soft
Two
reference to
two
yourself.
different contexts talking to
You actually did with
two
what
different
women
contexts.
do when they're speaking for the whole. Hold, I'm not finished. I'm
Hold
not
on.
finished,
No,
sir.
no,
Sir,
no,
I'm still talking. Let
but
me
you're
finish.
but you're
Let
wrong.
me finish. Let me finish,
Quickly,
and you can correct me.
quickly,
You let me finish. Let
quickly.
you correct me. You are speaking of social practices, but then you refer to the solutions as what you would do. That's what I referred to
Individual.
earlier. You cannot use an individual practice for a social norm. And that's what you're trying to do.
well, I'm
No,
gonna
no,
say
no, no, no. Let me know. Let me reply. So first of all, this is why you are categorically and fundamentally wrong, and this is why you always lose every single debate because
So you telling me I lost?
he ain't
two
even said that. You
different
lost, man. You
situations
lost.
in two contexts. The first time I was talking about collectivism, I was talking to Nameless, and then the second context when Bronx asked me another question. Two different contexts. And then I begin to talk about me. Now you want to make these logical Grand Canyon leaps to say make me say things that I am not saying. Because even now, I'm telling you, I'm not saying that.
Okay, now let me say, when it comes down to it, if you as an individual don't want to hit your woman, I'm 100% with you. But now, if you as an individual deal with a woman that you believe you need to hit in order for her to do right, that's between y'all. Because at the end of the day, if you hit her and she doesn't agree, she's leaving. That's just what it is. If she does not agree with being hit, she's leaving, which means she's
What
not
she
gonna.
called the police?
No, 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 no. That's leaving. If you with a woman that
Yeah.
needs a third party, she's leaving, and you need to learn to let her go. So at the end of the day, there's no issue. So then I do have to run across some guy who hits his woman. That's what they need for that relationship to survive. And I accept that because they're not my children. They're not living in my household. I'm not feeding them. I'm not giving them water to drink so they can stay alive. They deserve the same respect I deserve.
Well, all I want to say is elder blood, bro. That's crossing the line. Crossing the
What hell the blood say? What hell the blood say?
Hey, put it up there. Put it up there, Roger.
Let me
Put it up
see.
there.
That's crossing
He
the line.
said, Roger in chat, please let everyone know that the devil told the devil told hot sauce that under no circumstance should a black man ever put his hands on his bad acting / disobedient black woman. Hot sauce obeys Satan's wishes. Look, y'all. There's a lot more to leadership than just hitting a woman or not. But my main point is I have to respect other people in order to get respect. Okay? I gotta give you respect in order for you to give me respect. So I'm just gonna respect your situation. Just because y'all engaging in something that I don't want to necessarily engage myself in, I don't want to deal with a woman who I gotta beat upside the head every day. That's not my preference. But if that's what y'all want, why can't what y'all want be just as important as what I want? If I respect you as a human, if I respect you, especially as a black man and as a brother, if I respect you as a black woman and as a sister, yeah, I understand y'all need to beat each other so y'all can be okay and feel love. Because y'all hear what women say online. I need a different type of love. So she needs somebody who's going get her right. Women say it all the time. Black women always talking about they need a man that can handle them. Well, they mean that. They mean handle. How do you handle somebody? You physically touch them and do something to them. They need to be handled. Why she can't get handled if that's what she wants?
Hey, Roger. You know what? Kind of think about it. If I was a police officer, I don't think I would answer domestic violence calls.
Bro, if
That's
I
the
was
most.
in,
That's the most dangerous. That's the most dangerous call you can show up to. You don't know what you're walking into.
if I was in charge, there wouldn't be no such thing as the domestic violence call. Wouldn't even be no such thing.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't go because literally that's the most dangerous situation to walk into. Why am I putting my life on the line? I don't know really the whole story. I don't know what happened.
What
I'm good.
see,
I'm
my thing
good.
is
Why he over there about to?
we
Why he over
waste
there acting like that over? I'm good. I'm good.
well, I'm saying we waste a lot of time on one subject. There's a bunch of other stuff in place, like finances and things like that we could have got to, but y'all want to waste so much time on this one little subject because some woman wants somebody who hits her. Why y'all can't just respect that woman and let her get hit if that's what she wants? Why
Now,
why is her right
Roger
to
gonna
be
blame
with
this on everybody.
no, I'm just saying, why is it a problem that a woman who wants to get beat on can find the man who is willing to beat her?
Roger,
Why
are
can't a
you a
man?
leader? Are you a leader or are you not a leader? Is this your show or is this not your show? Which one is it not?
Hey, brother,
We on the
I'm just,
subject that you got us on.
and you know what? I'm using this subject. I'm using this subject wisely too. I'm using this subject wisely. That's why I literally just said, why can't she find the man that's willing to beat her? What is so wrong with that? We adults. Adults do freaky stuff. Adults do nasty stuff. Adults do
Don't
stuff
talk.
that make you cringe. But if the two
Don't talk
adults
about Brock
involved,
like that.
if the
Don't talk
two,
about Brock like that.
I'm just saying, if the two adults involved are with it, why is this a problem, y'all? Look. I'm doing this deliberately. You got men, as they say, it's a small group of men out there who like to get pegged, and they got a woman who like sticking something up they behind. They call it pegging, to my understanding. Now, if he like to get pegged,
Bro,
no,
you gonna let him talk about you like that over there? You ain't gonna stop him, bro.
You out of pocket, man. You out of
no,
pocket. What
no.
tutu that?
Who's out of
But
pocket?
That's
Who's out
some
of pocket?
tutu alley right there.
but
Roger,
no. But I'm saying,
Roger the one saying it. Why you ain't stopping him?
jokes aside, if a man actually wants to get paid, why would I tell him he can't have that?
That's gross, Roger. That's gross.
This does not affect my life. No. This don't affect my life in no way. He getting paid don't affect me. It's not my woman doing it.
Nah,
So
he can't
why
be in the
do I
community.
care?
He can't be in the
I
community.
think,
He got to go, man. He
I
got to
think
go.
we passed.
He gonna have our community like Sodom and Gomorrah, man.
Hey, I think we passed the 3 hour mark and Roger don't got drunk. It's time to bring this to an end. We are not going here. No, sir.
Shout
No.
out to Devin, that brother. He said, "Fall back, Rod. Long time subscribers to the channel. I feel like you look down on me. I feel like you look down on me now for getting paid."
We do look down on you, Devin, brother. We do look down on you, brother. I expected more to hear you.
Shout out to Devin, that brother.
I'm gonna use Roger's own statement. We could have talked about a myriad of other things. We could have talked about finance and everything, but Roger want to talk about begging. No,
Yeah,
we're not doing
yeah.
this. The show over with.
Because now
The show over with. It's freaky. We don't went to Freaky Friday. No.
we annoy me. We annoy me. So I'm annoying people on the way out. That's what this is my get back. This my get back, okay? But I'm saying there's some guys that want to get pegged out there, and there's some women that want to peg in. Why can't we let them have their way? That's all I'm saying, y'all. All right, look, we'll bring this to a close, y'all. Let's do some final statements. Let's do some final statements and wrap this up.
Lord.
So, okay. All right, shout out to the peggers out there. Shout out to all the people who do the pegging.
No.
Ronnie keep bringing it up, y'all. Come on, Ronnie, let me go. Please.
Hey, I say this my get back.
Out of
This is
pocket,
my
man.
get back. Okay.
That's a rule.
Habitual
Y'all boys out there pegging. That's a rule you supposed to keep inside the house. That's a communal rule. We don't want y'all to share that with us.
Yeah, you get excommunicated from the community if you get found out doing that.
The next time y'all spend more than an hour talking about whooping abroad, if that ain't the subject of the show, we gonna talk about all kinds of stuff. Trust me. Okay, it's gonna be some get back every time. Shout out to the peggers out there.
I don't want to know.
She loves me. This is your time for a closing statement. You got something for us? She loves me. Going once.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. There you go.
Well, I didn't sign up for Freaky Friday. That's what I'm
saying. I feel you, brother. Shout out to D-Name and Handle. He said, didn't have to go there to make your point. No, I ain't have to, but it worked. I'm going to say that. I ain't have to, but it works. Okay. All right. HNIC, you got it, brother.
Hey, man, I'm voting for mind your business. I'm voting for mind your business. I don't care what's going on. I don't care why it's going on. She chose him as a leader. Mind your business.
All right. Okay. D.I. got into Harvard because I couldn't make it academically. Any last comment you want to make, my brother?
I fully agree with you, Roger. We should respect the leadership of all men, black men specifically, and we should let them lead their women in the way that they deem fit. And regarding the second point about, I've heard too many times a woman say that if a man don't put his hands on you, he don't love you. So I'm saying I heard that in real life and I heard it on the internet. So that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I said this, but I may have. But Afro Merchant, shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to me. Afro Merchant dropped the $20.57. Shout out to you for the Trailability Tax. Want to make sure I get this on here. Make sure I get this. Appreciate you big time, brother. Appreciate you big time. And shout out to No Placeholder who dropped the $10 saying, indulging me today. Hey, no problem, brother. You always welcome. You always welcome. Truth teller, it's on you, my brother. It's on you.
I just think we should just make sure we understand in order to have a constructive society, we have to have a structure that's built on more than just how we feel or first level thinking on how things should work. It's complicated. We need to put more thought into how things need to work and why things worked in the past. A lot of people will forget why women weren't in the game the way they are now. There was reasons for that, and we should probably research that a bit more so that we can understand why things are the way they are now. That's it for me.
All right. Follow the leader. You got the last word on this one. Bronx,
I'm gonna
that's you.
keep it simple, man. I'm gonna keep
Okay.
it simple, man. Follow the leader. Keep it simple. Follow the leader, and everything will be all right. But when you don't follow the leader, that's when the problems come.
All right. All right. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, y'all. And I'm going to say, look, y'all, women do a lot of things to try to manipulate men against each other. Okay. We have gotten into fights because of women. We have killed each other because of women. We have done prison time because of women. And at the end of the day, it just ain't even necessary, man. All we got to do is just tell that woman to do what her man talking about. If she can, if she can take some dick from a man, she can take instruction from a man. Okay, real talk, y'all. If she can take some dick, she can take some instruction. Listen to the man, and that's it. Okay, I don't want to talk about how you need to do something different than what your man wants you to do. If you don't like him like that, then leave him. And if you ain't gonna leave him, you like him like that. So just do what he say. And for all the women who don't want to listen to a man, hey, if you live in America, get a job and shut up. Start a business and shut up. Go to the military and shut up. You got things out there that you can do to earn your own money so you can call all your own shots. But shut up and do it. And I'm going to leave it right there. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll be back next week, Monday at 9 a.m. Chicago time. Y'all meet us there. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.